you know what? So I can understand that. And, people have been calling me a hater, man, when we do our little clips or whatnot, because I'm not sitting here saying Seahawks are the best team in the NFC. They're the best team in the world. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying 2 or 3. I'll give them 2 or 3. I still think Philly is the best team in the NFC, even though they squeaked by Green Bay, but they keep winning ball games.
They do have a tougher strength of schedule.
They're the defending champs. Like, until you knock them off, if they have 3 losses, 4 losses, then maybe. And then I look at the Rams, and I think there's an argument to either it could be the Rams or the Seahawks at this point. Look, the Hawks were a solid 3 last week for me when it came to power rankings. And after that performance, the beatdown, them doing things we haven't seen before with the double scoop and score, with JSN continuing to have his season, with Darnold having an efficient game, only throwing the ball 12 times. They rushed for 198 collectively. I'm like, all right. I can see them as a 2 now, but I'm still going with NFC. With Philly. I think that people just aren't used to this. It's been a long time since you looked at a Seahawks team and thought they are balanced. Their offense is on point. Their defense is on point. You mentioned special teams. It's hard for people to fathom it at this point. Mm-hmm. And I get it. And what are power rankings? Opinions. Right? It's based off of, all right, this is what I see on the film. This is the stats that I'm looking up. Here's my opinion of this team. I can see anybody ranking them at 1, 2, or 3. Anything outside of that, then I think you're kind of hating low key.
Yes, I absolutely agree. If you have the Seahawks, I have them at 9. No, you're just why? What point are you trying to make? No, I think that you can't be fundamentally wrong with power rankings if you have them at 2 or 3. And you're right. It's entirely opinion. I also think you can't be wrong if you have them first. And I think that I understand the pushback on Darnold, or rather I understand the question about Darnold. And someone texted in and said, well, it wasn't the pressure of the game, meaning like the moment, the spotlight pressure. It was the pressure allowed by his crap offensive line. Mm-hmm. Now, listen, you can think that I know nothing about football, but Troy Aikman knows about football. And I went back and watched all the post-game coverage this morning, and Troy Aikman on January 13th said, I think Sam Darnold just might have cost himself a few $1 million in free agency. Mm-hmm. Yes,
he did.
Sam Darnold was sacked 9 times. All 9 of those were not on him. But Sam Darnold himself, after the game, lamented some of the decisions he made, said he left throws out there, and said he made way too many mistakes. You can't tell Sam Darnold he's wrong about Sam Darnold. It was a bad game for Sam Darnold, and unfortunately for Sam Darnold, it was his last game. And unfortunately for Sam Darnold, his last game was his first game in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So you've had all of one appearance in the playoffs where you were sacked 9 times, had 2 turnovers, were both returned for a touchdown. I know he had a scoop and score.
Oh, no.
But you didn't play well at all. And fair or not, that's a question that's going to linger. In fact, I asked Aaron, hey, is this something that changes? He's going to face the Rams again. Maybe that narrative kind of gets fixed. Will it go away then?
I think it won't matter until he wins in the postseason. I think that because he was good, he was really good last year, and he was really good even against good opponents. And then the postseason came, and he laid a huge egg against the Rams. And I just feel like people are going to see that game in the back of their minds until he proves, until Seattle goes to the playoffs and wins. And he shows that he can play well in the playoffs and win games in the playoffs. That may not be fair, mm-hmm. but it is how people think. And it is a little bit what I'm a little afraid of, too.
Bump, do you think that Sam Darnold has a chance this Sunday to right that ship, to start setting a new narrative, to erase some of those doubts, and to say, yeah, I might be the elephant in the room, but guess what? You're wrong about me. Or will he have to wait to the playoffs like Aaron thinks?
He can make it better. He can throw some makeup on, throw some foundation on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He
can get ready
some
for
primer.
It. Yeah, he can do some things this game to show that he can show up in the big one. This is the biggest game of the season. It's probably the biggest game in the NFL this week. I haven't looked at the schedule yet.
Outside of Sunday night, yeah I think the biggest for sure.
This is his opportunity, and I think he realizes that. But all he needs to do is just be the guy he's been. I don't think there's going to be a situation where the offensive line plays so horribly that he's sacked 10 times. I don't think there's going to be a situation where the defense doesn't show up and the Rams put up 35, 40 points. This is going to be a close football game, and it's the way he performs. He could lose this game and still put some foundation on that thing and try to change the narrative of who he is. Yes, this is a big opportunity for him. And I think if he were to have a bad game and people say, oh, there's a guy that we know, these guys can still go off and win 11, 12, 13 games, get into the playoffs, and then he'll have another opportunity to try to right his wrongs and change the way that people view him. But yes, this is one step closer for him to change the way people look at him.
Well, and I think when you're looking at people giving the nod offensively to the Rams, yesterday I asked Aaron about it, and he was like, well, yeah, their run game is better. I don't actually think the Rams' run game is, like, exceptional. I think that both offenses, Seattle and LA, really lean into explosive, accurate, great pass games. Matthew Stafford's been there. I mean, he is a first overall pick, played for a decade, went to a Super Bowl and won it. There aren't questions that people have left with Matthew Stafford. He's also thrown 20 touchdowns with no interceptions so far. He doesn't have 20 on the season. He has more than that, but he's thrown a stretch of 20 consecutive touchdowns with no interceptions. No one's doubting Stafford the way they are Darnold, and that's earned, right? Like, Stafford deserves credit there. I might be with Aaron on this one and think it's probably going to take time, and it's not fair because Stafford, I don't want to say hit the ground running, but there's
you can't compare the two.
No,
the career are totally different.
Stories,
Stafford's been in the game 10, 12 years, Pro Bowler, Super Bowl champ. Nah, this is Darnold's really second year of playing some good football. So if you're trying to compare the two, there's no comparison. This year you can, but legacy-wise and reputation and resume, nah, you ain't touching that.
Yeah. Someone said, you're not even mentioning the Lions game at the end of last year. I think the Rams game is just relevant here because they're playing the Rams. It was in the playoffs. And it was the last game. It's not like none of us knew the Lions game happened. Everyone knows that the story of Sam Darnold's season is that the last two games were his worst two games, and that the second of those two games, obviously, was the playoffs, and it knocked them out. That's the story of the season. It's not like I don't know the Lions game happened. I think the thing about Sam Darnold, too, if he was a rookie, I think there would be less doubt.
Yeah, look at Caleb. Caleb bouncing back.
Well,
JJ gets the benefit of the doubt.
Yes.
Michael Penix getting the benefit of the doubt.
Because that's all people will have seen. They'd go, well, yeah, he's got two horrible games. It was his first playoff appearance. You know what I mean? He's got 14 great games before that. But no, with Sam Darnold, you flamed out with the Jets. And then you were with the Panthers. No one was paying attention. You spent time with the 49ers, which he credits for part of him having a resurgence. But it takes a lot to change his story. Look at Baker Mayfield. People still, you know what I mean? Like, he was a first overall pick, and there's still, despite turning his career around and being great with Tampa, there are still some doubts about him. So, Get Off My Lawn coming your way next.
Hawks Live. Touchdown! Presented by the Dining District at the Bellevue Collection. Thursday nights from 7 to 9 p.m. Live from Bellevue Square Center Court. Come on by and join hosts Michael Bumpus and Paul Moyer and a different Seahawks player every week.
This should be fun.
Hawks Live. Thursday nights from 7 to 9 p.m. Exclusively on the home of the Seahawks. Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
When I was playing ball, November was always such a pivotal time because that's when you truly see whether your team is a contender or a pretender. Many teams enter the month with a chance to win a championship, and what they do these last 4 weeks can make all the difference. Michael Bumpus here, and even though my playing days are over, November can still mean big wins at Silver Reef Casino Hotel. All you have to do is claim your free entry to any promo kiosk. Every Saturday in November at Silver Reef, 2 winners are drawn every hour starting at 6 p.m. to score huge prizes. Someone's going to win a Hawaiian vacation, an awesome outdoor grill, or $10,000 cash. So here's what you need to do this weekend. Book a stay at Silver Reef Casino. Watch the college football games on Saturday. Stick around and see if you walk away with a big-time prize or cash money. Entry is free. More information at silverreefcasino.com/promotions. Book your stay at Silver Reef Casino Hotel. Drive up I-5, exit 260.
If you've been in a wreck or a fender bender,
you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility, not just where your insurance company tells you to go. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. With over 25 years of auto repair work, they'll exceed your expectations.
we meet by accident, fixing every last dent. Accurate Auto Body.
At Accurate Auto Body, all their work is performed by certified technicians, only using OEM parts to guarantee the safety of you and your family. For the best in auto body collision repair and customer service, give them a call at 425-883-2450 or AccurateAutoBodyWA.com. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
we meet by accident, fixing
Guys, tired all the time, gaining weight, low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. Right now, Revive Men's Health Washington is making it easier to get answers with a comprehensive wellness panel. It's not just a lab test, it's where better performance begins. Our providers will check your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. A $400 value for just $99, or free if you start treatment. Over 120,000 men have trusted Revive to restore their energy, mood, and confidence. So if you're ready to feel better and live stronger, call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Offer ends November 30th. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
With football season comes colder weather, so if you need new windows and doors, don't drop the ball. Steve Rabel here with Keith Dashafi from locally owned Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. So Keith, what's your next big play?
Well, Steve, right now get 40% off qualifying installs or no payments and no interest for 12 months on approved credit.
Schedule a free consultation with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Go to PellaPNW.com. That's PellaPNW.com.
The Bump and Stacy Show is powered in part each day by the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law Personal Injury Lawyers. Go to PendergastLaw.com.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So, then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
You've heard the saying, you never get a second chance to make a first impression. Since 1926, my family's been helping local businesses make great first, second, and long-term impressions. We know how to make your company look good with quality uniforms, logoed apparel, floor mats, linens, and more. If you're paying for linen service or doing it yourself, let's have the conversation. The information and quote are free, but the savings and service can really add up. Visit SUPlinen.com. Superior Linen Service. It's what we do.
It's freezing outside and your home's heating just quit. Repairs, replacement, pricey. Hey, it's John Curley. With unmatched savings and financing from Home Comfort Alliance, now is the time. Federal tax credits expire soon. Save up to $2,000. Utility rebates up to $2,500. Home Comfort Alliance warehouse clearance sale, another 25 to 75% off. Plus 18 months, 0% financing makes paying easy. Act now for the best savings. Visit HomeComfortAlliance.com today.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Bump! Every single Wednesday at 10:45, you got three things grinding your gears. I don't want to say in your old age, 39 years young. You know what I mean? But you're just finding, you get irritated by things a little more easily.
Hell, extremely.
You start yelling, get off my lawn, metaphorically speaking. When you're at the airport, you're at a game.
Start yelling at
color
clouds.
commentary. Yeah, you just start realizing things bother you that didn't before. So you got three things this week you need to talk about.
All right.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
First one. Oh, now you want to fire Nico. Now you want to fire Nico Dallas. You should have fired him when he made that dumb trade to let Luka go. Now, Irving is out. You're not going to see him until, maybe the end of the year. These guys are 3-8. You got Cooper Flag over there trying his best to hold the team together, and now you want to fire him. I don't know why you guys waited so long. With Kyrie being out, I didn't expect this team to be anything, right? You can't put the ball in Cooper Flag's hands and expect him just to carry the team like that. It takes a village. You don't have the chief in the village with Kyrie being out. Anthony Davis is one rebound away from tweaking his ankle and being out forever. Now you want to fire Nico. What's the point of doing it now? You haven't even given his plan a chance to unfold, to blossom. Kyrie's not even there. But now you want to fire Nico. You guys are 9 months too late with this. I saw that, and I threw my hands. I'm like, come on, man. Come on. What's the point? That's the dumbest thing I've seen in sports in the last couple of days. Now you want to fire Nico.
It's
Get
a
out of
very,
here.
very good point, though, for a good get off my lawn, because it's like, if you were to ask them why, and they were like, oh, the Luka trade. What?
Oh, yeah, we're reflecting on the Luka trade, and we come to the conclusion that we probably shouldn't have done that. No, Sherlock. No, you shouldn't have done that. But then you get the number 1 pick, so you think all is well. And now because that number 1 pick, an 18-year-old, isn't just playing out of his mind. Like, come on, man.
Did you see the 18-year-old fan sitting next to Paul Dumont? Is it Paul Dumont? Is that his name, Curtis?
I believe so.
Dumont at a game. Patrick Dumont, thank you. Wearing the Luka Lakers jersey, and allegedly was like talking to him for a while. And people were like, how much did an 18-year-old fan sway the decision? Did you see this?
I didn't see that. Nah.
I think
they had a little like side chat before the game.
What if that's it? What if that's what finally did it? An 18-year-old told him, you're washed, bro.
Yeah, I doubt it. But someone said, Bump, you switched up. At the time of the trade, you said it wasn't that bad because of pick and roll. Yeah. Kyrie's not there right now. He's hurt. That's what I'm saying. You haven't even given this time to unfold. If you thought it was that bad back then, or if you're using that as your excuse to fire him, you should have done it 9 months ago. I think with Kyrie, they can still be a good team. Did the Lakers win that trade? Most definitely. But, come on now. And someone says Luka's overrated. Luka started the season with like 4 straight 30-point games.
He's averaging 40
first player
points,
to do it in Lakers history, man.
Overrated
Come on.
based
Stop
on
hating.
what?
Stop
What's
hating,
next?
Stop hating. All right.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
Hey, look, I know this is the sports side, so there's a little politics here. Not a lot. All right, don't come at me. Okay. But there's a vote going on today, I believe, to get the government up and running again, right? And I travel every weekend, and I'm looking at these poor TSA people who are not being paid. They're not being paid, and I see how rude some people are to them. I'm like, there's this guy in front of me, and clearly, when you walk through security, take off your dang jacket, take your belt off. Take your hoodie off. The guy's like, why do I have to take my jacket off? And he's giving this guy problems. And I tap him, I go, he's working for free, right? He's not being paid right now.
You said that?
Yeah, I say, he's working for free. He's not being paid. I don't care. I'm like, all right, man, just be a little considerate of these guys. Now, they're going to get back pay, hopefully, when this thing all goes down. But they're not being paid. So let's all the government workers out there who are still holding it down for us while dummies at Congress are trying to figure this whole thing out, I appreciate you, especially when I travel, because I need to travel. I got to go make money. And if you guys aren't there, I do not travel. So if my flight has to be delayed a little bit, so be it. If the schedule isn't on point like it used to be, so be it. They're working for free. So just be considerate when you are traveling, dealing with TSA, even though they're not the most friendliest people at times. I get that. Even when they are being paid, they're a little grumpy. I don't know what's wrong with y'all at TSA. But during this time, leave them alone. They're working for free.
Good for you for saying something, Bump. And also, has this guy never flown before in his entire life?
Maybe. I don't know.
What do you mean? Why do you need me to take this off? What are you talking about? Do you see everyone else around you? There are hundreds of people around you doing the exact same thing.
You have to treat the TSA line like when you're playing sports. Watch the guy in front of you so you do the drill correctly.
Yes.
Don't be the 5th guy in the line and jack up the drill.
Don't do it. What's last?
That's one.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
This one goes out to my knees. I hate you. My knees. I hate you.
Said your knees.
No, my knees. I hate you right now. Last week, I did a long show for CW. I'm there for maybe 9 hours.
Okay.
I get to my room, my knee is swollen from standing. My knee is swollen. I work out this morning. I do an hour in the treadmill, just walking at an incline. My knee is swollen again.
No.
Knees, I appreciate you for helping me get a scholarship, helping me live my dreams in the NFL. It didn't last long, but I was in there. But now you're failing me. And it's for real, right before I turn 40, this is a real thing. My body start messing with me.
Out.
Come on, man. My birthday's in a month. Let me live. I work out. I treat you good. I work out. I eat okay. Come on, man. My knees, you're failing me. I feel like I'm going to have to have knee surgery one day. I'm getting sick of this. My knees. I hate you
I
right
feel like
now.
your knees are looking at you sideways. You know what I mean? Like that you were like, okay, here we go, 9-hour day for college football. And they were like, excuse us?
Standing.
Yeah, they said, what? No, there's not going to be a 9-hour day. We'll see about that. And they're 2-on-1. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you're outmatched.
I'm outmatched.
You're
and they take
outnumbered.
turns like, oh, the right one today. Oh, the left one today. Both, same time.
They
both
said,
swollen.
we did our job. We're working overtime now. They said, we did our job.
We got you to the league.
Look, you were a top recruit. Okay,
Man.
you played D1. Then we clocked out.
Y'all clocked out like, what, 15 years ago?
No, not. I was gonna say you hit 30, and they were like, well.
Yeah. No more church league basketball for you, buddy.
You're lucky if you get pickleball now.
Actually, I can do pickle because it's it's
Bowling,
lateral
maybe?
movement. I can do that.
Bowling? That could be a little dangerous.
Nah, bowling's good.
Okay.
It's controlled movements. It's the random stuff. We just talked about the
Gotcha.
random and standing apparently.
Well, speaking of college football, Washington Wednesday coming your way next.
The one and only Mark Schlereth. Every Monday at 4 during the NFL season with Wyman and Bob.
How we doing, guys?
We're good, man. We should be, right?
If you look at how Mike Macdonald has done there and what he has brought to the table, and then you look at John Schneider, you're talking about potential Coach of the Year candidate and potential GM of the Year or Executive of the Year candidate with where they sit right now.
On Seattle Sports, on YouTube and the Seattle Sports app.
I know a lot of you guys are listening from your phones right now, so it's the perfect time to give a shout out to my friends over at AT&T. The other guys will make claims saying this and that about how great their network is, and I'm just here to set the record straight that AT&T is America's fastest and most reliable wireless network. I don't know about you guys, but it just gives me so much peace of mind when I'm going to do the things I love, and I know my wireless network's got me. Like if I'm going to a concert or a basketball game or even something outdoorsy, knowing I'm going to have fast service and can share what I'm up to is a game changer. You want to know you can post what you want to post, call who you want to call, and with AT&T, it literally doesn't matter where you're going. I promise you, they're already there. Don't just take it from me. Actual tests prove AT&T is America's fastest and most reliable wireless network. When you compare, there is no comparison. Based on RootMetrics United States Root Score Report 1H 2025, tested with best commercially available smartphones on 3 national mobile networks across all available network types. Your experiences may vary. RootMetrics rankings are not an endorsement of AT&T.
Did you know in Washington State, you can see a physical therapist without a referral from your doctor? That's right. Thanks to Direct Access, you can skip the wait and get the care you need right away. Shannon O'Kelly, how has Direct Access changed the game?
Direct Access for us, Brock, is a game changer. Why? Is because there is so much research and data out there that says if you get in early when you have a musculoskeletal problem or an injury, the earlier you get in and we can start care, the better outcomes and the decreased downstream cost, okay? So it's so important. Our providers are all doctors of physical therapy. They're all trained to identify situations and problems. They've got the skill, they've got the talent, they've got the knowledge. If you get in and start therapy early, we're going to get you back to activity, pain-free, and moving and having fun.
Fast, easy, effective. Direct Access is your path to better movement, starting with a single step. Visit irgpt.com to schedule your appointment today. irgpt.com.
You're losing your hair and you simply need a solution that works. You want the best. Modern technology, top-rated physicians, something that's guaranteed to work. Guys, you need world-class Dr. Perungo and his team at Advanced Hair. Advanced Hair has completely redefined hair restoration. From the experience itself to their unmatched results. Receding hairline, bald spot, thinning hair, maybe all 3 like I had. Get your hair back with Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment that begins to regrow your own natural hair the very next day. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, including mine. And get this, Advanced Hair is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. For your free consultation, call 425-449-8185. Right now, you'll get $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. Refine your hairline with the team that redefined hair restoration. That's 425-449-8185. Or for the before and afters, visit advancedhair.com.
Seattle's rainy season is here. Don't wait to replace your roof. Schedule your free estimate at 3treeroofing.com and get $500 off your roofing project. Our expert team creates a custom plan for your home, ensuring a smooth, worry-free installation even in the winter months. With material prices low and lead time short, now is the best time to act. Stop throwing money at costly repairs. Protect your home this winter with a new roof from your neighbors at 3 Tree Roofing. Visit 3treeroofing.com today to secure your $500 discount. Three Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
When it comes to the security of your business, doubts can creep in about who you're trusting to protect it. At Bay Alarm, we got you. For nearly 80 years, we've been putting our customers' minds at ease with our advanced technology and personalized support. Feeling insecure about your current security service? Visit bayalarm.com today.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation, so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
At Shane Company, there's no shortcuts, just craftsmanship. Because a friend wants your fine jewelry and dream engagement ring to be nothing short of perfect, no matter the price. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Kraken fell to the Blue Jackets last night 2-1 in a shootout. With that, Seattle dropped 2 straight. A chance to bounce back, though, tomorrow against the Jets. Also playing tomorrow, the other Jets. It's Jets-Patriots for Thursday Night Football on Amazon Prime. Kickoff at 5:15.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
Washington Wednesdays is powered by Star Rentals, preferred supplier to the West's best contractors.
Washington Wednesdays, presented by Star Rentals, preferred supplier to the West's best contractors.
Taking a look around college football, obviously starting with Washington, with On Montlake's Christian Caple joining us on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. Christian, how's it going?
Doing great. How are you doing?
Fantastic. I obviously, unfortunately, do need to ask you about Washington's last game, but I'm going to actually start with a press conference. Jedd Fisch had some comments to make about reports that he'd be seeking out jobs elsewhere, that his family doesn't want to be here in Seattle, and that ended up dominating headlines when it came to Washington this week. Remind us kind of what Jedd told people and why those comments maybe felt important right now.
Yeah, so I asked him, hey, I think fans see your name attached to these other openings, and like if we're being really specific, it's Florida and UCLA in particular, right? And see your name on these lists and haven't really seen any outward like statements or denials about it, and are kind of concerned and want to be excited about the future of the program with all these young players and all this young talent and everything, but that excitement's kind of on hold until they know that this coaching staff's going to be intact next year. Yeah, what he said was basically, hey, I don't have anything to do with the list. Those are just lists. People can attach my name to whatever. And, he called it ridiculousness, the stuff about his, just because my wife and daughters moved back to Tucson just so my 16-year-old can finish high school. She's been to 5 different schools in the last 8 years, and that's got nothing to do with my future. And he said that he loves coaching at Washington and that he thinks the rumors do affect recruiting and affect the team and the staff, and that he just hopes that all of those different parties understand how much he loves it at Washington. Did not definitively state he'll be back at Washington, did not necessarily deny interest in any particular job or jobs generally, which, I don't think any coach really in that situation would. There's a little bit of a what do you expect him to say / folks aren't going to believe all of it anyway element to this, but I thought it was more noteworthy just for the fact that he did kind of finally address it at length, whereas when he was asked about these things previously, it was pretty brief. It was pretty, I'm not going to talk about any of that in detail. I'm focused on the next opponent.
I want to ask you about the team and just, how they bounce back from that loss to Wisconsin. What do you think how do you think they're going to end this season? And when it's all said and done, I expect them to lose to Oregon, right? I'm sorry, UW fans out there.
How dare you.
Oregon's just a good football team. But I expect them to win to beat Purdue and UCLA. So say they end the season, what would that be, like 8-4, something like that? How would you classify that? Is this a successful season? Is it a building season? Just how would you paint the picture?
Yeah, I felt preseason, everybody picks the season out and does their projections and everything. And I tried to gauge from readers, from fans before the season, like what's the baseline here record-wise for what you'd be okay with and what you feel like would constitute progress. And I do feel like 8-4 probably was like the floor, with a lot of people really hoping / believing that they had the upside to go 9-3. This would have been the game, right? I mean, if they beat Wisconsin, they're 7-2, and now a home game against Purdue, and a tricky but winnable trip to UCLA is all that separates you from being 9-2 going into the Oregon game, and then 9-3 is the worst you can do, and you're in the playoff race on November 29th. So this loss, if you'd said, hey, it'll be 8-4, but it'll be 8-4 because you lost to like one of Wisconsin's worst teams in years that had scored 3 touchdowns in 5 Big Ten games coming into it and was playing a true freshman 4th-string quarterback who'd never played college football before, and you lost to them because you couldn't score more than 1 touchdown. I think that would have people feeling a little bit differently about it. But, if they do finish 8-4, it matters what the Oregon game looks like. If you do right now project that as a loss, okay, what kind of loss is it? They lose by 3 scores? They lose by a field goal in the 4th quarter? Are they toe-to-toe with them? Is it competitive? And they just lose a hard-fought game between 2 good teams, then I think that affects how people come away feeling about it too. But, I would go all the way back to the start of the 2024 season and say the Huskies are going to be 8-4 in 2025. I don't know that people would be terribly upset about that, though you always hope for better.
We're still coming off an ugly loss, is that you've got some notable injuries. I know Jonah Coleman was banged up late in this one, but what are we looking at heading into Purdue?
Yeah, Jonah Coleman's got a knee injury. He's questionable, Jed Fish said. Sounds like it's going to be a treatment week for him. They probably keep him off his feet and give him every chance to play in this game. Obviously, he couldn't return to the game to play in the second half there at Wisconsin. They kind of thought he might be able to, and he just couldn't go. Denzel Boston did come back and play in that game with a rolled ankle, was not 100%. And I think his status is at least questionable this week. We'll see if we learn more closer to game time. I would think just, reading between the lines, maybe he's got a better chance to play than Jonah Coleman just because he was able to finish the game at Wisconsin. Maybe just as big of a deal as it sounds like they don't necessarily expect their starting right tackle, Drew Azzopardi, to be able to play. He left the Wisconsin game with a lower or a leg injury, I believe. Jed Fish said it would be a challenge to get him back this week, so we'll see there. Landon Hatchett, their starting center, played in that game, started at least with a ball cast on his right hand, so he's snapping with his left hand, and they just didn't feel like he could do all the duties necessary there with that type of cast. They said they're going to be looking at trying to get a different cast for him, so we'll see if he can go. They got a couple defensive players, a couple defensive backs, Rashawn Clark and Mikel Esteen, who both left that game due to injuries as well. Sounds like they're sort of day-to-day, so they felt like they were pretty healthy coming out of their bye week. They got Carver Willis and John Mills back, and now they're a pretty beat-up team again.
It's crazy that I'm even asking this question, but this is just how college football is. With Damon Williams, are there rumors of him trying to leave, get another deal? Do we expect him to be back? Have you heard anything, or have you heard nothing?
Yeah, I mean, if Jed Fish is Washington's coach next year, I'd be really surprised if Damon Williams is not their quarterback. Those two seem pretty committed to each other. So that doesn't mean that, other schools won't try. Doesn't mean that his agent won't be hearing other offers, though I do believe him and Jed Fish are represented by the same agency. So I don't know what that might mean or not mean for that part of the game. But yeah, I mean, it just like every good quarterback at any program anywhere, like I'm sure there's going to be offers made, but if Jed Fish is still at Washington, I would be surprised if Damon Williams weren't.
I wanted to kind of take a bird's eye view of not necessarily just the Big Ten, but of college football and Washington's place in it. One conversation, we've been having the conversation about Jed Fish kind of all week leading up to his comments, and even after that, wondering like, well, what are the expectations for Washington? What should they be? And I think for everyone around college football, even if you're at Bama or whatever, you're wondering like, okay, well, how do things change for this program and for what fair expectations are and for what competition looks like with NIL deals, with transfer portals operating as they are and being as heavily used? What is Washington's role or place? Like what should, I guess, sky high expectations look like? Because I'm never going to compare them to like an Ohio State, but I also don't think it's, I hate to use the word acceptable, I don't think it should be seen as a given that they're just unranked.
Yeah, I mean, there's a small handful of schools, and Ohio State's probably at the top of the list, where if they're not in the national championship game on a year-by-year basis, you can't say that it was a successful season, right? Like that's, and obviously they can't all be there, so they can't all have a successful season every year by that measure. But, Ohio State, Michigan, Alabama, Georgia, those type of programs should expect to be in the hunt, should expect to be a team that can make it at least to the semifinal. And if you're not, then you don't feel like you reached your potential. I think that Washington cannot set an expectation any lower than being a team that should compete for a playoff spot every year in the 12-team era. In the 4-team era, it's totally different. I mean, especially because they're playing in the Pac-12. You could have, go 11-1. Go 11-1 playing in the Pac-12 and not make the 4-team field. And I don't think that would be healthy to tell yourself that's not a good season. You could be the 5th best team in the country as the University of Washington and not make the playoff. And I don't think you wanted to be in a place where you're saying that that's a failure. In the 12-team era, I think starting next year, because I think that these 2 seasons under Jed Fish, last year was a total rebuild. This year is a step forward, but they're clearly not there. And I don't think it would have been reasonable to expect them to be in the field this year, although if they'd beaten Wisconsin, they still would at least have the math alive. But I think starting year 3 in the Jed Fish era, if we assume some degree of roster continuity and stability and all those things, now you're entering an era where that should be the expectation, to be one of those 3 or 4 teams from the Big Ten that make the field every year. And that doesn't mean they're going to, because they're in a tough league. But look, you didn't join the Big Ten and pay your coach almost $8 million a year, and probably some amount more than that if they do come to an extension, and or if they have to hire a new coach. And pay, you're paying $13 to $15 million a year to football players directly from athletic department funds now. You're paying your head coach what you're paying your head coach. You're paying assistants at a high level. You've invested all these resources into facilities upgrades and building out a personnel department. And, you're going to be spending more money on football than ever before by a pretty wide margin. And you had a hand in disintegrating the Pac-12 so you could take this school to the Big Ten. Like, you better set the playoff as an expectation every year, right? And it doesn't mean that you come up short, you just automatically fire the coach. But, I think they're playing in a sandbox now where if you're not thinking about the CFP year in, year out, you're setting the bar too low.
Yeah, we had a conversation with that, Stacy and I, and just trying to figure out just who is UW? Who are they? Are they a team, like you said, can expect to compete for the CFP, but is that realistic for them? Do you see a path where they can be considered one of those teams every year with the Bamas, Ohio State, the top dogs, to where you can expect them to be there? Or do you think that this kind of trend will continue where, every few years they get a group that can really make it, and then a few years they have to rebuild?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say that they can't when they're, a rare school that made the 4-team playoff under 2 different head coaches. Obviously the potential is there. Now, year in, year out, are they ever going to be on the level of Ohio State, Georgia, Alabama? They've never been that in their history for a sustained period of time. So there's no reason to think they're going to crack that tier. But you don't need to be on that tier to be a playoff team, right? And I think like going forward in the NFL playoffs, hey, you just get in that tournament and anything can happen, right? And I think that's kind of how you look at it in college in the 12-team era. Look how close nobody would put Arizona State's talent alongside Georgia's talent, Notre Dame's talent, even Texas's talent last year. But look how close they were to beating Texas. So, I think that the expanded playoff has changed things, and obviously the playoff is only going to expand further, right? They can't figure that out yet, but I don't think anyone's expecting it to stay at 12 for too long. So, especially if we do get to an era where there's automatic qualifiers or where the Big Ten and SEC hold their own play-in games and it's about being in that top 6 to have a chance to play for an automatic bid and all those sort of things. If they want to be one of these teams that, like Jed Fish says, looks at itself like an NFL-like operation and, wants to invest in the program in a way that's going to have them in the conversation with those schools, whether it's realistic or not, you have to go about your business in a way that suggests you believe it is. A lot of it's geography, right? In recruiting, schools in the South, schools in the Midwest, big brands, big national brands that can come out to California and recruit, they're always going to have access to better players. So I don't think that's necessarily going away, but in the NIL era and with, the fact that you saw this team in the national championship game 2 years ago, I don't think you can ever throw up your hands and make excuses and just say oh, well, we're not Ohio State and we'll never be that on an annual basis. So it's okay if you don't make the playoffs.
He is Christian Caple. Read more from Christian on montlake.com. Go subscribe right now. Thank you, Christian.
Thanks, Christian.
Thank you, guys.
All right, let's get to 4 Down territory.
This is 4 Down territory, going inside the game with former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
First down. How are Sam Darnold and Matthew Stafford similar?
They are both good against the blitz. Last week against the 49ers, Stafford was 13 of 18 for 161 yards and 4 touchdowns, all against the blitz. You blitz that man, he's going to get after you. Sam Darnold is number 1 against the blitz in the NFL this year, 90.6 grade against the blitz, and also they both will play action the heck out of you. The Rams run play action rate 28% of the time, 100 attempts, they got 880 yards during play action, and then Sam Darnold has 64 play action attempts, 808 yards. So less plays being ran here. Attempts are going to be up, the play action pass. So they're both good against the blitz, and they both are good with the play action.
Second down. What's a personnel group the Hawks will see more of this weekend?
Man, they're going to see 13 personnel. So that means 1 running back and 3 tight ends. They are going to overload one side, run to that side, run to the opposite side. Guys like Nick and Mawari need to have a big game. So they run 13 personnel 16.93% of the time. That's the most in the NFL. They like to pack it in. I'm interested to see how the Hawks are going to kind of combat this, right? Nick's going to have a big game. Going to roll down safety, Kobe Bryant. Drake's going to have a good game. They really pack it in, and it's impressive. They make formations look alike and plays look alike just with a little tweak, and Matthew does a good job of getting the football out of his hands. So it's going to be big boy football. It's big boy football with explosive plays in the pass game as well.
Yeah.
Mike Macdonald is in the lab right now trying to figure out how he's going to attack this. No team trusts 3 tight ends out there more than the Rams. So this is something they have not seen before. I think the Arizona Cardinals were 7th in the league when it comes to 3 tight end personnel, but the Rams are number 1. So they've kind of had a taste of the 3 tight end personnel last week, but this week it's going to be a lot
I have a follow-up question about the tight ends, if that's okay. Trey McBride was still getting his targets, still getting his yards. Is that something where it's just Trey McBride and you're going to give up some stuff to Arizona because you're otherwise stopping them? Or is there something within this defense that might be susceptible to tight end usage?
No, I think Trey McBride made a lot of contested catches too.
Yeah.
Nick Mawari had 3 passes defended on him. He's going to get his. It stems just from the play action. Even the Arizona Cardinals run a good amount of play action with Jacoby Brissett back there. It's getting the eyes of the defense. No defense is going to be perfect, right? No defense is going to just be great against the play action and never be fooled. I think that was more the case with Arizona. Trey McBride is probably the best tight end in the game right now, or one of them. And then the play action game forces these linebackers to step up. It creates gaps in the second and third level. And you sneak a tight end out there like McBride, you're going to be good to go. Also, the Rams do a lot of tight end delays, man. That tight end is going to block on the edge, and he'll release late. And Matthew Stafford does a great job of finding him late. He'll keep his eyes down the field. There's nothing there. There's always a check down. They're going to make you work. And I want to see how Nick Amore does.
You know what I'd be really curious to see right now? If it was like fantasy football, I got to be NFL GM, I would plop Trey McBride into the Packers offense now that they've lost Tucker Kraft. And I just go like, what's this look like? What happens here? Third down. What unit will need to carry the Seahawks on Sunday?
This will be the best offensive line they have seen so far. They are so impressive on film. I know, as if my son was here, he would say, "Stop glazing the Rams, Dad." Well, I'm not glazing. I'm just getting y'all ready for what's going to happen here. All right, this is the best offensive line they have seen thus far. They're great on the double teams. They get to the second level. Rarely does one just blow by this offensive line. Stafford's been sacked 14 times. That's the third fewest among starters. According to PFF, this O-line is ranked number 4. I went to PFF after I watched the film. I'm watching the film, and I'm thinking, this line is awesome. Last week, that line was garbitis, right? But this week, I'm watching the film. I'm like, they're so technically sound. They're not missing assignments. They're getting to that second level. PFF has to have them ranked high. Lo and behold, they're ranked 4th. Matthew Stafford was only sacked once against the Niners. The Niners are missing some guys, right? So that's going to play a role in that. But just assignment-wise and technique-wise, they get to where they're supposed to be. Most of the time, they're controlling the matchup, and that's why last week the Rams were able to rush for 124 yards. It was just bodies on bodies. The D-line's going to have their best day, and I think they can have their best day. This is the heavyweight matchup. I know we're talking about we threw special teams in there. Sean McVay and Macdonald and the quarterback situation. The heavyweight fight is going to be in the trenches. You have probably a top 5 offensive line versus a top 5 defensive line going at it. That's the matchup you want to watch. I know you want to follow the football, and you should because it's fun. You know, the ball being thrown everywhere.
Big names.
Yeah, but look at this matchup in the trenches. It's going to be big.
4th down. All right, well, how are these defenses similar?
These guys, man. So when it comes to blitzing, the Rams blitz 17.8% of the time. Seahawks 17.3. Pressure rate. Rams create pressure 24% of the time. Seahawks 25. QB knockdowns. The Rams have 31. Seahawks 30. Passing touchdowns. The Rams have given up 12, and Seahawks have given up 13. And they do it without sending a lot of pressure, right? You get pressure on the quarterback, you get it with 4. The more I watch these two defenses, the more I watch these two offenses, I'm like, it's like we live in a parallel universe right now. It's crazy. The blitz stats from the quarterbacks. I'm looking for the edge, and there's going to be an edge out there because, like I always say, humans have to play the game. Yeah. And sometimes humans don't show up and make some mistakes that they typically do not make. But these defenses are similar. These quarterbacks are similar. These offenses are similar. This is I'm not getting nervous. I'm getting anxious.
I'm a little bit nervous. It would be like if the Lions and the Eagles last year were like in the same division. Like it's two really, really good teams that are really physical. In the Lions and Eagles case, Seahawks and Rams doing it a bit differently. Still physical, but a bit differently. It would be great if like the most dominant, complete Seahawks team that I can remember for a while wasn't happening in the same season and division as a really, really, really good Rams team. But hey, beat the best to be the best. You know?
You got to square up, man. This is there's going to be about 3 to 4 plays that will propel a team in this game. Is it going to be special teams? The thicker kicker is going to play this week, right? Is it going to be the return game? Will the Seahawks finally get their run game going and have a big performance? I can't say finally. They did rush for 198 last week. But have one guy kind of lead the charge. Big up Charbonnet, who had like 83 of them things last week. One team is going to have to do something they typically don't excel at. And both teams are looking at the run game and saying, all right, if we can break a couple big ones here, maybe that will do it. Who's going to get after the quarterback? The Hawks are top 5 when it comes to sacks. The Rams are right behind them, not too far. Byron Murphy has 9. Can you stop him from having a big day? He's like 5th in the league when it comes to, not Byron Murphy. Byron Young is 9 when it comes to sacks. There's just so many angles to look at this game and try to figure out who's going to have the edge, but it comes down to just the humans making plays.
Truth, there are a number of Seahawks fans and Rams fans that will answer that one team has an obvious advantage somewhere because you're a fan. Of course you're going to see it that way. I cannot see an area where one team has an obvious edge over the other. The closest you could possibly get to is if you have just a drastically more belief in Matthew Stafford over Sam Darnold and you think Sam Darnold's being lucky, in which case I just wouldn't agree with you, but that could be one option. And the other would be the run game. But it's not like the Rams have the best run game. And we're not talking about, a Lions offense firing on all cylinders. against a Seahawks offense that's a little flatter in comparison, we're talking about teams almost fundamentally the same, including all the way up to coaching.
Mm-hmm.
Brilliant coaches.
Yeah, two young
Similar
studs
ages.
out there.
Yeah, it's really fun, and I am simultaneously excited to watch this game and also almost wish that I wasn't covering the Seahawks so that you could be a completely objective NFL fan and just watch a really good game without being stressed at any point. But it'll be a good one.
We'll be
week
stressed
11.
out here at Bonneville watching this game.
Mm-hmm. The Eagles won. That's good news, I guess, but A.J. Brown's still upset. That's next.
Get inside the huddle.
The handoff inside to Charbonnet. He's going to go. Touchdown, Seahawks.
Taking you inside the VMAC every week. Thursdays, noon to 2.
Our guys show up to play.
Player interviews.
It's obviously been paying off. Just going to continue to do that.
Previewing this week's matchup.
We'll say they come out and just run the ball down the Niners' throats.
And everything Seahawks.
If anybody had a doubt, don't.
The Huddle. Every Thursday at noon. Exclusively on the home of the Seahawks. Seattle Sports.
The stock market's on fire. AI stocks are performing at all-time levels. We hope you, like many of our investors, have taken advantage of it. A famous man once said, buy low, sell high. There's also $8 trillion of cash sitting on the sidelines. Investors are either scared or they don't know where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rureka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares profit with our investors. We've been doing it for 19 years, averaging double-digit returns with zero investor losses. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital and invest in our family of funds. From a 3-year investment with double-digit returns to only a 90-day commitment returning 7%. We also accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities, so do like I did and have one of your assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today.
Visit mintmobile.com/radio. Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
Napa Auto Parts reminds listeners the holidays are meant to be a time of good cheer and warm gatherings with family and friends. Don't spoil the spirit of the season by getting behind the wheel after drinking. Always designate a sober driver or take a ride share for a safe ride home. Let's work together to keep our roadways safe and accident-free this holiday season. Happy holidays to you and yours from the entire team at Napa Auto Parts, featuring top quality parts at affordable prices. Visit them at napaonline.com.
Want more Seahawks content? Join me, G. Scott, on The Reset. New episodes of the podcast every Monday and Thursday on YouTube or on the Seattle Sports app.
I had pain, I had numbness in my feet.
That pain and that numbness just got worse and worse and worse as time went on.
This is Greg describing life with neuropathy.
I went to 5 podiatrists, tried different treatments, tried different orthotics, tried different shoes, had cortisone shots in the tops and the bottoms of my feet. Saw a neurologist. All my medical doctors said, can't help you. Live with the pain. You're not going to be able to sleep. This is your life. And then I just gave up until I found Sound Pain Solutions.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. Our neuropathy treatments can rehabilitate damaged nerves. We use FDA-cleared, non-surgical, drug, and pain-free procedures that help neuropathy sufferers like Greg find relief.
I feel better. I mean, just feeling better is huge.
If you experience numbness, shooting or burning pains, or loss of balance, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025, or click soundpainsolutions.com.
Guys, want long-term health you can count on? It starts with knowing your numbers. Right now, Revive Men's Health Washington is offering a comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value for just $99. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. Take control of your health today and stay strong for the long haul. Offer ends November 30th. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com today. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
Hi, I'm John Ray, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. When you buy an engagement ring or fine jewelry gift from Shane Company, you get more than what you paid for. Our jewelry comes with our all-inclusive free lifetime warranty. It covers everything. There's no fine print. You'll get unlimited cleanings, resizings, and repairs. Plus, it even protects your engagement ring's center stone. We stand behind the quality of our jewelry, and that's our gift to you this holiday, peace of mind. Because a friend knows the best things in life are free. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
This is The Timeline
with Bump and Stacy.
Brought to you by 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
We didn't have to wait very long for A.J. Brown to get in his feelings after another lackluster effort from the Eagles offense. That's leading off the timeline today. Brown appeared on it. This is what I don't get is like,
come on, man.
We joked about it in headline rewrites before the game of like, oh, and it'll determine whether or not Tuesday A.J. Brown's upset. And then they won.
It's getting old now.
It wasn't a good offensive showing by either quarterback, by either team, but you won. Anyways, I digress. It ended up happening anyways. Brown appeared on a Madden stream on Tuesday and had a few things to say. First, he had some fantasy football advice for people who happen to have him on their roster.
Hey. If you got me on fantasy, man, get rid of me.
So if you have me, get rid of me on fantasy.
Here's what I need. I need more. I need to hear the conversation leading up to that. I need to see his face because he could be joking, and I don't know his personality well enough. He could be poking fun at himself. You know what I mean? He did have 3 targets. You need more than that. But I need more. This is a tough one for me because I don't know his personality really either.
Well, it's not done. Later, he marveled at the stat line he put up in the video game using himself.
Hey! That had 9 for 168. Too tough.
What?
I'm telling you, bro. That's the only highlight of the damn football I've been living right now.
We're making too much of this. We talk like
what
that.
What if I had like 5 more?
No. He's making fun of himself.
Is he making fun of himself, or is he making fun of his situation?
All the above.
Removing himself from the equation.
All the above. I don't think
like self-deprecating as well.
Yeah, I'm not leaning into that too much. I would do the same thing. I would make fun of myself. 3 catches today.
You know what it is? I would make fun of myself. I would think it was funny if he was making fun of himself. It's that he has a track record of taking shots and clearly being unhappy with the way he's being used, that in what could very clearly be him just having fun and teasing about himself and the game that they had, it ends up feeling like yet another shot at how he's being used.
Yeah, because of what's happened in the past. I get it. But this, I just think he's chopping it up with his boys and making fun like they really not using me. And I had a beautiful stat line. So I don't know. I'm not buying in too much of that.
I also think on the flip side, I don't think big picture it matters at all, because last year there were reports that not only was Brown unhappy, but that Brown and Jalen Hurts didn't even like each other and would argue. And who knows if those reports were correct. Was it Brandon Graham that came out and said it wasn't right, or someone said the opposite? I don't remember exactly what happened, but there were plenty of reports about discord in the Eagles locker room last year, particularly when it came to A.J. Brown. And they won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So in the end, even if he wasn't kidding, even if he is very serious, even if he's taking a passive-aggressive jab at the Eagles offense, they still went on and won a Super Bowl with him being reportedly not always happy. It didn't matter.
No, it don't matter. This catch the ball when it's thrown to you.
Yeah. Someone said, well, he's playing with Jalen Hurts who can't throw, so it's understandable. I already know you disagree, which is why I'm reading it to you.
Yeah, you're starting. You're trying to stir the pot right now.
She's starting.
Trying to stir the dang pot.
It's a full circle moment for the Mariners and Austin Nola. The former big league catcher will reportedly be the Mariners bullpen coach in 2026, which means he'll be coaching the guy he was once traded for, Andres Munoz.
Hey, that's sports for you. That's why you don't burn any bridges.
Never.
You know? That's like the Hawks cut me in 2009, 10. Look at me now on the broadcast team.
Look at us.
You know?
Yeah.
You don't burn any bridges. That's interesting, though. Good for him. Get employed. And Munoz is still doing his thing. Who was else in that trade? Trammell?
Was that
What's
the
he doing?
Trammell and France trade as well?
Yeah.
What's Trammell doing? I know France is doing his thing.
He was
Houston?
with the Astros this last year.
Yeah.
He was with the Astros.
Yeah. And Ty France with the Blue Jays.
Yeah.
Did he just win a Gold Glove too?
He
I saw it
did.
at the ceremony. Yeah. So it was a great trade overall for Seattle. And
Worked
now
out.
you kind of, like Thanos, you get all of them. And that's stolen valor because I've never actually seen Infinity Rings War. Who cares? Matt's just, I'm sorry.
Not even
Matt's about
dignifying
to
that with a
walk
response.
off the show.
He's so mad at me. I've been poking at Matt.
626 says wide receiver diva list to the next level. Is AJ on your wide receiver diva list?
Oh yeah, but the thing
I don't
is
think you
that like
crowned him yet.
he's the diva list. I still need to go to the craft store and get paper. I have a bunch of faces printed out, ready to be glued onto it. The wide receiver diva list is really better suited to diva behavior that's debatable diva behavior. Like Jackson Smith and Jigba's on the diva list.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Michael Bumpus on the diva list.
Crazy.
G on the diva list multiple times. Not a
Multiple
wide
entries.
receiver at all. A.J. Brown would be a boring addition to the wide receiver diva list. I should call it the receiver diva list.
Receiver diva list.
Receiver diva list.
Yeah, I like that.
He'd be on the leaderboard. It wouldn't be a fair fight. You know what I mean? It would be an incredibly boring receiver diva list. It's much more interesting when you've got people are neck and neck. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, oh, JSN's in the lead, and then what's this? Michael Bumpus showed up to work wearing sunglasses inside. Whoop! Guess who's in the lead now?
That's crazy. Literally, there's like 10 steps between me walking inside and getting to the sports pit. And if I don't take them off immediately,
Do you ever take
I'm
them?
on the diva list.
Has there been a time? Because I introduced the Receiva Diva list, new name, but it wasn't called that, back in like September. Was there a time where you took your glasses off on purpose because you knew that you would end up on it again?
No.
Okay, so I never peer pressured you into taking the sunglasses off.
It's just, it's a feel, you know? Your body
so
tells you when to take them off.
So there's like an attitude that comes with it.
Nah, it's
Yeah.
time to take them off now.
It's just
Okay,
a vibe.
Take them off.
It's emotionally driven.
Yeah,
It's an emotionally
G
driven
doesn't have
decision.
that feeling. He has shades
G
on
will
every day.
walk in. G will do his show with sunglasses on, and that's why
his
he's on the
picture,
Receiva.
His promo picture, he has shades on.
Stop! No, he doesn't.
Yes.
I love G. That's why he's on the Receiva Diva list, and he's the Receiva Diva leaderboard.
Receiver diva leader.
Yeah. I'm about to put Matt on the list. I don't know what for yet.
He came in with shades on too.
Ooh, you're right.
Yeah.
Matt comes in with an iced coffee and sunglasses on every day. That's a Receiva Diva.
For sure.
Every day. Every single day. Even in the dead of winter.
Okay, maybe not in the dead of winter. But next story. In response to Emmanuel Clase and Luis Ortiz's indictments, Major League Baseball and prominent U.S. sports books are establishing a nationwide $200 betting limit on wagers for individual pitches. Hear me out. Don't allow wagers on individual pitches. Like a gambling addict, you could make it $10. It doesn't matter. Someone who's betting on those things and with the ability to control those things is going to do it. Why allow individual bets?
That's crazy. Individual pitches.
Individual pitches.
That's going a bit too far. Like let's keep it real broad. You know what I mean? Maybe how many innings that would allow him to control it. So I was thinking how many innings a pitcher goes through.
I mean,
a pitcher can manipulate that for sure.
What would you limit? Would you limit any prop bets? Because again, you can't pull it back too much because Vegas is already making money. They don't want to limit, but like if you're gonna complain about if you're gonna say, oh my God, players are getting involved, how do you stop it? Well, players have direct control over whether or not they get the over or the under on something.
Yeah. That's tough, man, because I think there's some prop bets that are fine, but it does or can influence players, which we've seen before.
Yeah.
We're going through right now. Oh, it's tough. We'll never get it right. The floodgates are open. As soon as you allow gambling, it's some influence by some criminal activity is going to happen.
Next story, Pitt head football coach Pat Narduzzi took the opposite approach when asked if Saturday's game against Notre Dame is a must-win.
Do you feel like this is a must-win for this team when it comes to
Absolutely not. It is not an ACC game. I'm glad you brought that up. It is not an ACC game. I gladly get beat 103 or 110 to 10 in that game. They can put 100 up on us as long as we win the next two after that. But again, our focus is on Notre Dame and getting as many wins as we can, one at a time.
Pat, all due respect, I think you're outthinking the room here, brother.
I'm fine with him saying it's not a must-win game.
Sure.
I'm not fine with him with saying they can put 1,000 points on us.
They can kill us.
It's all good. We're not worried about that. So that's the message you're sending to your locker room. So you're telling your kids it's okay not to prepare to win this ball game. Let's just show up, have fun, and then we'll focus on the ACC games. Wrong message, Coach.
It's an objectively bad take. The idea of, shoot, I don't even care if we play Saturday.
They're Notre Dame.
It doesn't matter.
Man,
I never even heard of them.
Come on, man. Lie. You're supposed to lie to your players. You lied to them.
Another bad argument in the AL MVP debate coming your way next.
Blue 88! I said Blue 88! Every morning at 7:45, Brock Ewart tackles 3 football questions as only he can.
Give me a Seahawks or two who had their best game of the season.
Put some respect on their name. Critical of Anthony Bradford when he falls on his face, when he blocks his own guy. What about when he's balling? You got to give him his due when he's got a PFF grade of 75.8. Wow. You going to give AB his due? You're darn right I am.
Catch every Blue 88 on the Seattle Sports app.
It's hard to believe the holidays are almost here. And do you or someone on your wish list want the gift of fitness? Well, Brock Ewart here, and the Top Fitness Black Friday sales event is on right now. I've told you all for years, there is nothing better than a home gym, and to give it as a gift and to friends, even better. And right now, you could save up to $1,000 on Inspire gyms, Inspire treadmills, and True treadmills, plus get free delivery and assembly on Precore treadmills, ellipticals, and exercise bikes. You can also save, how about this, up to 50% on last year's display models, with Olympic weight bars starting at $50 and home gym attachments and accessories, well, they're up to 50% off starting at just $10. So it's no secret why everyone from personal trainers to pro athletes love Top Fitness. You can visit them in Tukwila, Linwood, or Bellevue, or simply go to topfitness.com. Take care of your family, take care of your friends, take care of yourself with the Top Fitness Black Friday sales event on right now. Top Fitness, your best place for home fitness equipment.
Progressive knows there are some surprisingly expensive things in life, like rugs. People say a rug would really bring the room together. And sure, you don't know what that means, but it sounds important. Suddenly you're using words like jute and sisal. Then you see the price and lose it, because how can the thing you walk and spill on cost so much? So you devote your life to taking down Big Rug. But then you remember that switching your home and auto to Progressive could save you hundreds. So, looks like Big Rug is safe. For now. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Hi, I'm Kylie.
I'm John.
And I'm Garrison. And a little thing we love about the 30-count Chick-fil-A nuggets
is sharing it in the car during the holidays.
I do love that. We will pack the car with gifts. And, of course, we go and pick up our family's favorite nuggets.
Every nugget is tasty times quadrillion.
And we get all the sides.
Yeah, the ooey gooey mac and cheese is a big hit.
Everyone from 1 to 116 would love Chick-fil-A's chicken nuggets.
Share the nuggets, share the joy. Order the 30-count Chick-fil-A nuggets on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
The LJ way is.
You look at stuff like this and it's like, I don't want to come into an industry and work on a place that is going to compromise how I feel about myself. I got to go to work every day with good people And I get to enjoy what I do because I'm out there just trying to do right by people I care about, which is our community. We're going to see them at the grocery store. I'm going to see them at the sports tournaments. 2 friends of our daughters came in last night just on the lot, didn't know I was there. And it was cool because you got to take them through, and they're going to buy a car for their first driver and a car for their kid going to school soon. These are the people that you're going to work with. And so you better make sure that your laundry's clean. I don't think Lee Johnson specifically, right, Speedway Chevrolet, where I'm at, I don't think they've ever had a problem with the community of being able to stand up and look them in the eye and know that they did their job well.
The LJ way is the Lee Johnson Auto family.
Bonneville International radio station contests are open to participants 18 years of age or older that are residents of Washington State unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contests are not eligible to win unless the station otherwise specifies at its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 60 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. Full general contest rules are available on seattlesports.com or in person at the station during regular business hours.
This is the home of the Seahawks.
Going to let one fly deep. Got a man out there. Ball is caught down at the 10-yard line, and it's JSN.
Seattle Sports.
New siding doesn't have to break the bank. We offer affordable options that add value and protection to your home. This is Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. And while we're at it, ask about our roofing, windows, decking, and gutter services for even more savings. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to schedule your free siding inspection. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
State Roofing, the best roof you'll ever need.
We meet by accident, fixing every last dent, accurate auto body.
If you've been in an auto accident, you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
we meet by accident, fixing every last dent, accurate auto body.
When you're at home and next to your windows, do you notice cold air or a draft when the wind blows? How about moisture or leaking during a rainstorm? Dave Wyman here, and after 20 years in our home, our window seals started breaking. A failed window can do major damage to your home, and the older the window, the more likely it is to fail. That's why right now is an excellent time to have Harley Exteriors come by for a no-charge consultation. That's exactly what I had done over the summer, and not only were they extremely knowledgeable about all things windows, I found them to be polite, professional, and respectful. In other words, people you want to do business with. Harley Exteriors has a special offer for Seattle sports fans. Buy 3 windows, get 1 free. No payments or interest until 2027. And take an additional $200 off your project. Call 833-HARLEY or go to harleyexteriors.com. Schedule your free consultation today. They'll give you an honest assessment and quote. Go to harleyexteriors.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
I was listening to Foul Territory's new episode this morning. Shout out Ryan Divish of the Seattle Times, friend of the show, friend of the station. He was on it, and they staged a debate between Ryan, who was representing the case for Cal Raleigh at MVP, and then the Athletics' Chris Kirschner on Foul Territory, who was representing the case for Aaron Judge. And all due respect for Chris, whose entire point of being on the pod that day is to represent the case for Aaron Judge. And yet, I did take issue with one part of it.
I'm not really entirely sure why it's a debate. Like, I get that Cal Raleigh had a great year.
Okay, so before I even get to the rest of Chris's point, Chris knows baseball. Chris gets paid money to cover baseball, to cover the Yankees. I get it. I don't really know why there's a debate is a wild way to start a debate that's super interesting, really entertaining, has great points on either side, and has been going on for months. What do you mean you don't know why it's a debate?
Where's he from?
New York.
There you go.
Yeah.
Like,
but you're a reporter.
Yeah, but
I don't really know why it's a debate. Chris, what?
He let his bias get into it.
Chris, what?
Right? At least when I'm biased, I think most of the time I can admit it. You know, like Kobe being the greatest basketball player of all time.
Sure.
Probably not Probably Jordan.
But
but I'm gonna stand
however,
with Kobe. I'm gonna stand with Kobe. Why? Because I'm from Culver City, California. But yeah, there is a debate, and it's been being debated the whole season. Like, we've been talking about this. Who's gonna get it? Now, if you look at just some basic numbers, right? Okay, WAR. Judge has Cal there. Games, we all know that Cal plays in more games and plays a more difficult position, but overall he's got him there. More plate appearances. Judge has more hits, 179 and 147. Cal has more home runs, more RBIs, more stolen bases. Now you get into the weeds with the average and on base slugging, OPS plus. Judge has that. I don't know who I was talking to or where I was, but they were having the debate about Cal. Maybe I was here. I don't know. But Cal and Aaron Judge. And he goes, look, this is what Aaron Judge does throughout a game. And he said, he stood there, he looked at the crowd, threw a peace sign, said you, me to the third baseman or second baseman, clapped his hands and got into like a ready position. He goes, that's what he does. And he goes, and every now and then he'll have to run that way and shag a ball. He goes, now this is what Cal does. And he got in a squat. And he stood up, and he got in a squat. And he go, how long do you think you can hold this squat? And then he got back up and got in a squat. And I go, that right there is the difference.
Never mind mound visits, pitch calling.
Like, literally, Judge turned to the crowd, wave, hey, what's up,
Having
man?
a ball hit you in your throat.
Yeah, like, come on, man. I get Judge has had an amazing season. His numbers are stupid. But if we're really talking about most valuable player to your team, there is no argument.
There is an amazing case to make for Aaron Judge that you can make and just have that be it. I know that Chris knows how to make that case. What I've hated about this is when people on either side, but it's mostly been from New York side, let's be so for real, are saying it's not even a debate. It actually is a debate. You're never going to see this catcher again. Go ahead and put this in a group of unbreakable records. You're not going to see a team's primary catcher, especially catching that many innings, hit 60 home runs in a season. No. Unless Cal does it again, I guess. But I doubt that Cal's not going to catch that many innings next year. You're not going to see that again. So there are excellent cases you could make. And in particular, if this was strictly about the best bat, strictly about the best offensive player, I think that fundamentally a lot of baseball fans, and I'm going to go ahead and include people that cover baseball, I've had to ask a lot of questions about catching this year that I didn't know before. A lot of people in and around baseball who do not play and have never played and have never coached misunderstand a lot about what a catcher does.
Yeah. I challenge someone to watch a game and squat when Cal squats, stand up when he stands up, and then watch a game and do what Aaron Judge does.
Yeah.
Offensively, my man has been wild. Great season for Judge, right? I feel that. But you play offense and defense in baseball, right? You're not just a one-way type of guy unless you're on the mound and your name isn't Shohei Ohtani. You play offense and you play defense. He brings more to the table. And he did something no catcher or no switch hitter has never done.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, man.
Yeah, Chris, that was a bad take. The worst take that you made. The rest of the argument is perfectly fine. Great stats. You're a smart baseball guy. Starting it with, I'm not really sure why it's a debate. You're on the diva list, brother. This is what Buster Posey had to say on why he vote for Cal.
For him to put up those power numbers and just really overall offensive numbers, and then to do it with great defense, lead his team deep in the postseason. Incredible. Truly incredible. And who knows how it'll shake out, in the MVP race. But I'm a big Aaron Judge fan as well, but my vote would have to go with Cal.
Look, sure, there's some catcher bias here. I just think it's interesting that there's at least some nuance from former players, right? And frankly, Cal won the award that's voted on by his peers.
Exactly.
For the MLBPA award.
With these nerds.
I think that every single player in baseball looks at Aaron Judge and goes like, oh my God, I can't believe this guy's real. The same way they do with Shohei Ohtani. I think that that's something that happens. But I think only a true hater, a professional hater, could look at what Cal did and think, I don't get it.
Honestly, writers shouldn't even vote for MVP.
Oh, no, I think that you can. But this is a writer award.
Nah.
It's a BBWA. It's a blah.
They should have their own award, and MVP should be voted on by the peers and the people who are in that league who actually play against these guys. For all sports.
They give out their MVP.
For all, no. They don't give out their. It's called something else. I want the MVP, the trophy you hold up when at the beginning of the season when they give it to you, to be awarded by the players. Why are we? Most of these people, respect to these people, so I'm not saying they're not qualified or whatnot, right? They watch a lot, analyze all that good stuff. But why are we going to people who aren't even in the game? Who never prepared to play Cal or Aaron or in football?
Very fair.
Never prepared to play Tom Brady. Yeah, especially in baseball because it's harder.
Yeah.
Because there's so many stats and all that stuff. In football, it's pretty much almost clear who the MVP should be.
You are not wrong. I think that what has happened is that the Baseball Writers Award just happens to be the one that's like, this is it.
That's bull.
That's what it is, even though there is an award voted exclusively by players.
I'm tired of it. I want the trophy they hoist to be awarded by the peers. The peers, coaches, GMs.
That being said, it's rarely are they like objectively horribly wrong.
Nah.
Then that's why it's a good debate. Like that's why I really like the debate. And I think it'll probably be Judge. I would vote for Cal if I had a vote. And importantly, I think that there are wonderful cases to be made for either player. It just becomes a philosophical debate about what value means in baseball. Like it's really fun. And I think narrowing it down to, not really anything to say here because Aaron's average is better. It's like a horrible, dumb, flat, two-dimensional way to look at baseball that I think is boring.
I feel like most or majority of writers come out of the East Side too.
Oh, 1,000%. The chapter for I was listening to Baseball Barbecues this morning with friend of the show, Jordan Schusterman. The New York chapter for the baseball writers is the single biggest chapter. So yes.
Yeah. John
the
Belby
majority
says,
of writers.
The players already did vote for Cal. Yeah, you're not listening. I want the trophy that they give during the ceremony to be awarded because the players gave them the MVP.
Taking a look around the NFL next.
Hawks Live.
This should be fun.
Presented by the Dining District at the Bellevue Collection. Tomorrow night from 7 to 9 p.m. Live from Bellevue Square's center court. Come on by and join hosts Michael Bumpus and Paul Moyer. With this week's guest, Seahawks wide receiver Rashid Shaheed. Touchdown! Hawks Live. Tomorrow night from 7 to 9 p.m. Exclusively on the home of the Seahawks. Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Matt Coker here with West Coast Men's Health. In the past 5 years, we've seen thousands of men at our clinics. Most guys tell us the same story, that in their early 50s, it's not that they couldn't function, they just needed help. They started taking Viagra, and it worked great at first. But after a few years, it stopped working. The problem is that their arteries had become more restricted since they started taking it, because Viagra does not unclog arteries. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we use acoustic wave therapy to target the real problem. We break down plaque and clear up the arteries so blood can flow like it did in your 20s. This restores function. And guys, listen to this. You won't have to take a pill anymore. So if this sounds like you, give West Coast Men's Health a call today and see how we can help.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
I saw her texting, coming up to a stop sign, and so I saw the accident coming, and she T-boned us.
In the blink of an eye, Crystal's life changed when she suffered a severe spinal injury.
The pain was something I had never experienced before in my neck. I got massage therapy. I saw a chiropractor. I was prescribed muscle relaxers so I could sleep. I got depressed. Nothing was relieving the pain.
Drugs, sleepless nights, and depression. Sound familiar? I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist. At Sound Pain Solutions, our treatments include high-dose laser combined with spinal decompression and other comprehensive therapies to rehabilitate damaged discs. We use treatments that are non-surgical, FDA-cleared, drug and pain-free.
I was able to get off my pain medicines, and I was able to sleep through the night, and that was what I was desperate for.
To learn if you're a candidate for our treatment, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025, or click soundpainsolutions.com.
Let's talk about your hair. Well, maybe after we talk about my hair. I've got great hair, as you know, and it's because of Advanced Hair. Yep, Advanced Hair Restoration. Their simple one-day treatment offers life-changing results that I can attest to. Guys, it's not magic, but it's close to it. They put hair where you need it most, and bam, it grows. It's actual science. Advanced Hair has top-rated physicians, modern technology, and best of all, you get your very own natural hair that begins to regrow the very next day. It's even guaranteed to grow for life. So schedule your free consultation now at 425-449-8185. Mention Curly to qualify for $250 off and $250 free hair grafts. It's a limited time offer. Advanced Hair, the winner of the 425 Business of the Year, and the team that gave me my hair back. More importantly, they'll do the same for you, guaranteed. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together, like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation, so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
With Jackson Dart in concussion protocol, the New York Giants have officially announced they'll start Jameis Winston on Sunday against the Packers. Former Seahawk Russell Wilson will be the backup. Meanwhile, Cardinals receiver Marvin Harrison Jr. will miss Week 11's game against the 49ers after having surgery earlier this week because of appendicitis. From ESPN's Josh Weinfuss, when asked whether Harrison would miss just one game, Gannon said, quote, "We'll see."
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. Coming up in about 15-20 minutes, Seahawks head coach Mike Macdonald. We'll see if he's got some injury updates. Right now, let's take a look around the NFL, and we are going to start with the New York Giants. It'll be Jameis Winston, not Russell Wilson, starting for the Giants on Sunday. So how did Russ respond to the news? Giants interim head coach Mike Kafka talking with reporters the other day.
Yeah, no, Russ is a true pro. Russ is a true pro, and I know he's been through a couple tough things, and listen, the way he responds is unbelievable. I have a ton of respect for Russ. And again, he's probably going to be the backup this week. He's one play away, just like he was last week. And so we need him, and he's a crucial part of our offense. He's a crucial part of our unit and our group and our leadership group. So I'd expect nothing less from him and how he would respond to the news.
Now, the other part of this story is that Jameis Winston was not the immediate backup to Jackson Dart. He kind of leapfrogged Russell Wilson in the standings, in the depth chart to get this start.
He's one play away like he was last week. No, technically that makes him 2 plays away because last week he was 1 play away and this week he's 1 play away. So, listen, man, I feel for Russ. But you know what? Just handle it like a pro, which I know he will. Be a great teammate. Get up out of there. But this has to be messing with him mentally. Jameis Winston leapfrogged him and is going to be the starter this week. I think it's a couple things are happening. I think, one, they don't believe in Russell anymore. And I think, two, Mike, being the interim head coach, wants to shake things up a little bit and try something different. But, yeah, man, I feel for Russell. I don't care what y'all say, man. I feel for Russell. Mentally, this has to be messing with him. He is not a robot. I know he might sound like a robot at times. He might move like a robot. But he's going home, and he's having some mental battles with this whole situation.
I think several things are true about Russell Wilson and this situation. One, people don't especially like Russell Wilson, and he's done a lot of that to himself, but he was a good quarterback in Seattle, and people trying to negate that, I think, are like trying to add a personal feeling about Russell Wilson and make a football argument from it, and I just don't agree with that. Now, you can say, I don't think Russell Wilson is as good as Russell Wilson or fans thought he was at the time. That's a perfectly fair take. But to pretend he was never a good quarterback, I just think is fundamentally wrong. He's not that quarterback anymore, though. I think that's the second thing that's true about this, and I think that's very obvious. I think there's a world where Jameis Winston right now is a better quarterback than Russell Wilson. Jameis Winston, last year for Cleveland, again, still heavy on the interception touchdown ratio there. 13 touchdowns to 12 interceptions. But, I mean, in 7 starts, he threw 2,100 yards. I don't think he's worse than Russell Wilson right now.
Yeah,
He's got a big arm.
I'm not
He's
even worried
younger.
about that. I'm just thinking about the person right now.
Oh, for
I mean,
sure.
you make your decisions and coach, you roll with it. I ain't mad at you. I'm just thinking about, because as athletes, you have to cross that road at some point where you question everything. Am I good enough? How can I overcome this? So, yeah, I'm not mad at the decision to start Jameis. I'm just putting myself in his shoes and understanding what he's going through.
I do think that it makes me wonder about the incentives for the Giants. Not quite similar to their decision with Drew Lock last year in terms of being like, why isn't Drew Lock playing? But, like, at this point, the Giants have nothing to play for. You're not going to be in the playoffs. You're just trying to play for a higher draft pick. If it doesn't matter who starts, why not just have the guy who was the backup starting? Like, what's the reason is what I want to know.
I think the reason is that coaches, he's trying to win as many games as possible.
To keep his job.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, or to, show to the league that I can be a good head coach. I can turn a team around. So I understand the move 100%. He's going to try to win some ball games.
On a recent episode of his podcast, Commanders pass rusher Von Miller confirmed that it came down to signing with the Seahawks in Washington this past offseason.
The Seattle Seahawks were a team that I was strongly considering going to. It was between the Seattle Seahawks and the Washington Commanders. And, I picked the Washington Commanders, and I probably make that same decision 10 times out of 10. Like the year before, we had just went to the NFC Championship. Jaden Daniels was on his rookie year. He was going to get better. This team, they had a lot of carryover from the old coaching staff before. Now we got DQ, and he was able to do all these amazing things in his first year, win 10-plus games and go to an NFC Championship, and just lost to the Eagles. And all they got to do is just get over the hump, and they just need a couple more pieces to get there. And then we come, and so far this year, it is nothing like that. Not by any means is this season over with, but we're in a tight spot.
Wrong decision, buddy.
Wrong decision, but I like the way that he talked about it.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people would have made that decision.
Yeah.
You looked at what Washington was coming off of, even knowing that there would be some regression. Like when Washington started the season last year, people thought that offensive line would be one of the worst in the league and the defense would really struggle. They ended up fighting their way to taking on the Eagles in the NFC Championship game. That was because of a Rookie of the Year season from Jaden Daniels. And I think people thought, well, Jaden should still be great. Terry McLaurin's going to be great. But, there's going to be natural regression. I don't think people thought it would be this.
No, you got unlucky. Daniels goes down. Terry goes down. Austin Eckler goes down. On paper, that was the better situation for sure. I get why he chose. Just poking fun at him because we over here doing our thing in Seattle. Big game this week. Von Miller, could you imagine him on this defense? I mean, you don't expect a lot out of him, but just to put him in the mix with these other guys, it would have been fun to watch.
What's a guy that you would pluck off another team and put on this defense? And you can go by need, right? You don't have to choose the best defensive player, but where you'd I'd take that guy and put him on this defense.
Any great linebacker, interior linebacker right now.
Like the healthiest version of Fred Warner, who's not healthy and not there right now. For San Francisco would also love that. Eagles head coach Nick Sirianni had his weekly show on Philadelphia's WIP and was asked to comment on A.J. Brown's latest frustrations with the Eagles offense.
When there's obviously ability to debate what he meant or what he said or, hey, why did you say why there? Listen, again, you go with your interactions with guys on a daily basis and not what people are, I don't want to say, not predicting, but, speculating or anything like that. So, again, we're going to continue to try to get better on offense, and we played a great game on defense. And, but again, we are in tune to what's going on here and the relationships that we have in here and the process that we have in here, and AJ's all in.
Yeah, I don't know what else Nick is supposed to say there.
Nah, he did what he's supposed to do. Say what he's supposed to say. I'm sure as soon as he hangs up the phone, he's like, goodness gracious, AJ.
Mm-hmm.
Just keep your mouth shut. But that's something you have to deal with. And we've had this conversation before. If you provide a service in a way that many cannot, people will deal with your attitude and your comments or whatnot. But yeah, what's Nick supposed to say there?
It's a showdown you won't want to miss. Sam Darnold against the Vikings. The Seahawks season's in full swing, and we want to send one of you and 3 friends to the November 30th game against Minnesota. All you need to do is open the Seattle Sports app and click the Win tab to find out how. If you don't already have the app, text the word app to 866-979-3776, and we'll send you a link to download. Enter daily to increase your chances to win. This contest runs through Monday, November 17th. Mike Macdonald's press conference coming up next.
The one and only Mark Schlereth. Every Monday at 4 during the NFL season with Wyman and Bob.
How we doing, guys?
We're good, man. We should be, right?
If you look at how Mike Macdonald has done there and what he has brought to the table, and then you look at John Schneider, you're talking about potential Coach of the Year candidate and potential GM of the Year or Executive of the Year candidate with where they sit right now.
On Seattle Sports, on YouTube, and the Seattle Sports app.
Selling cars is a really easy business. It's complicated by really bad dealers. And why do we do that? Well, because we think that the less information we give and the more that we can dictate it on our terms, the more profitable we'll be. And what we found is that this is the exact opposite. The easier we make it, the more information we give, the more comfortable customers are in doing business with us. Now, that one transaction, we might make a little bit less on, but it's not the one. It's that one that leads to the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth. It's not the one individual. He's like, but you never get to the spouse, the parents, the kids, the friends, if you don't take care of them first.
It's not a script. It's a belief. The LJ Way is the Lee Johnson Auto family.
Nobody hooks you up like Popeyes. The big box is the reward that keeps on rewarding. Crack it open and you're greeted by 2 pieces of crispy signature chicken. Or if you want, 3 tenders, nestled in there with the 2 sides speaking to you most in this moment. You got that biscuit, and what are you waiting for? Dig right on in. That's feast mode activated, and you're in big box business for $6. Love that chicken from Popeyes. At participating U.S. restaurants, price may vary, tax extra.
Winter's here, Seattle. Is your roof ready? Get $500 off by scheduling your free estimate at 3treeroofing.com. Let us make your roofing project easy this winter. Our certified crews deliver worry-free installations backed by industry-leading warranties, even in the rainy season. 3 Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
Hi, I'm Dylan, your friend and jeweler at Sheil Company. As a customer service specialist, I love helping couples find their dream engagement ring. And guess what? I just got engaged, so it was fun to create one myself. First, my fiance tried on a bunch of ring styles and she was drawn to a classic diamond pave setting. Then we looked at different diamond shapes from pear to oval to cushion. She fell in love with a princess cut. At Sheil Company, you can create a one-of-a-kind ring and get it in days, not weeks. Because a friend wants you to have a magical holiday proposal. Sheil Company, your friend and jeweler.
Guys, tired all the time, gaining weight, low drive? These aren't just signs of aging.
They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. Right now, Revive Men's Health Washington is making it easier to get answers with a comprehensive wellness panel. It's not just a lab test, it's where better performance begins. Our providers will check your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. A $400 value for just $99, or free if you start treatment. Over 120,000 men have trusted Revive to restore their energy, mood, and confidence. So if you're ready to feel better and live stronger, call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Offer ends November 30th. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
You never get a second chance to make a first impression. Superior Linen Service. 98 years providing logoed apparel, uniforms, floor mats, linens, and more. Give us a call. We answer the phone. Superior Linen Service. Visit suplinen.com.
The home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports. Touchdown! Seahawks! Ken Walker III! Get everything Seahawks at seattlesports.com.
Hey, Mike Salk here for my friends at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel, and obviously New Year's is coming up. Can you believe it? Book your stay at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel for an evening of elegance at a night at the Grand Ball. This New Year's Eve celebration includes the legendary DJ Super Sam. And sports fans, you got to check out the Hawks Peak, your home for game days with great food and drinks, more than 60 TVs, so you won't miss a play, and a heated, covered outdoor deck with those great views of the Snoqualmie Valley. Seattle's closest is now Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel.
At Bible Law Group, we understand what it means to be local legal representation. From shopping at the Bon Marché, picking up gear at Chubby and Tubby, crying for Joey Cora, now for Cal, grabbing a burger while JP Patches clowns by. We live here and fight for you. That's why Bible Law gives local representation to those facing legal problems too big for prayers, even if you can't pronounce Squim or Puyallup. Our legal team has secured more than $40 million in settlements for our clients. We're ready to fight for you. Find us online at BibleLawGroup.com.
With football season comes colder weather, so if you need new windows and doors, don't drop the ball. Steve Rabel here with Keith Dashafee from locally owned Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. So Keith, what's your next big play?
Well, Steve, right now get 40% off qualifying installs or no payments and no interest for 12 months on approved credit.
Schedule a free consultation with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Go to PellaPNW.com. That's PellaPNW.com.
Hey, it's Tim Hunter, former Seattle radio goofball here with two words that aren't funny. Prostate cancer. Get your annual checkup. Keep an eye on that PSA number. And if you hear those two words like I did, talk to the folks at Swedish Cyberknife. 5 treatments, minimally invasive and technologically advanced over the other options. If you were a friend and I consider you one, I'd highly recommend Swedish Cyberknife. We are so lucky to have them right here in town. Do your research, but definitely visit swedish.org/cyberknife prostate.
Extra, extra, read all about it. Headline rewrites.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news with Bump and Stacy.
Headline number 1, Dan Wilson finished 3rd in AL Manager of the Year voting. Cleveland's Stephen Vogt won it for the 2nd straight year. What's the real headline?
Well, let's hope a Mariner finishes in first place tomorrow. Tomorrow is AL and NL MVP.
It ain't going down, man.
You don't know that.
I do.
You don't.
I do know that,
No.
Stacy. We have this debate. East Coast writers are going to vote for the East Coast judge.
You don't think
in the
it's
pinstripes.
indicative of something that he won the Players Association voting, that he won
It
the
should.
Sporting News voting?
It should.
I'm wondering if it's like an award show circuit. Like usually the film that wins the Golden Globe goes on to win the Oscar.
It should, but it ain't. I'm just, I'm preparing myself for the worst. That's all I do. You know?
I will say this. The one thing that I think it's been a fun debate all year long, but every time I've heard guests on our station, so like Jeff Passan, who doesn't have a vote, right? Buster Olney, who doesn't vote, but a lot of guys will be like, yeah, I mean, I'd vote for Aaron, but here's why it wouldn't upset me if someone voted for Cal. The fact that so many people are like, well, I mean, I would vote for Judge, but I wouldn't like it, makes me wonder if he'll win by a greater majority than I think.
I don't know, man. I'm just ready to be angry at somebody. That's all.
Well, I think, look, Cal did something for the city, for his own reputation. He's going to be on the World Baseball Classic. Like he has done so much for his career, for the spotlight here in Seattle, setting a historic season. Whether or not he wins MVP won't change that. But if you want to talk about the best offensive player, give it to Aaron. If you want to talk about who helped their team, who's valuable to their team, and not only that, but who was like the story of the year, you cannot talk about the 2025 season without mentioning Cal Raleigh.
If Cal wins, you're going to hear me say, the Yankee lose.
Over and
I can't
over
wait to
again.
say that. I can't wait. I hope so, man. But look, Cal he's more valuable. He brought more to his team. He led his team. He carried his team at times. Aaron Judge did not have to do that. He plays a harder position. He did something that catcher's never done, a switch hitter's never done. It's listen, I can also understand why someone would vote for Judge.
Of course.
I'm not knocking Judge. He had a great season, my man. Offensively, is one of the greatest players we've ever seen. But Cal is more well-rounded.
I will
player.
say this about Cal's season: the way we talk about baseball matters, and the stories and names we remember matter. In 10 years, if you ask even a Yankees fan, what was Aaron Judge's WAR? What was his average in 2025? They're not going to know. How many home runs did Cal hit in 2025? They'll know. And I don't know why that feels like a win for Seattle, but I think it should.
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 2 in a stunner: DeMarcus Lawrence named Defensive Player of the Week. What's the real headline?
It's impressive when getting one scoop and score would make you a distant runner-up.
Yeah. So now my man has 2 touchdowns, the same as Justin Jefferson,
crazy,
Bijan Robinson,
wild,
Breece Hall, and Tate McMillan. All these guys are guys you assume are going to put up like 6 to 10 touchdowns in a year. They're going to pass them, obviously, but the fact that week 11, we're in week 11, and D-Law has as many touchdowns as them is funny. But I saw the Seahawks number 1 on the NFL.com's power ranking too. Like they're getting some love, man, and a lot of it is because of this defense. You highlight Sam Darnold as well and how he's playing, but after that performance by the defense last week, it's hard not to show them some love. Even though it was against Arizona Cardinals, you just don't really blow out teams like that. It's ironic that the Niners put up 40 points against, the Rams put up 40 points against the Niners too.
Mm-hmm.
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 3, baseball's GM meetings. Pittsburgh GM Ben Cherington told FanSided the Paul Skeens will not be traded and will be a Pirate in 2026. What's the real headline?
No one's more upset than Paul right now.
Maybe his girl.
Oh, Livy's great. She's
Where's
fine.
she at? She's still in
living
college?
her best life.
Is she done?
No, I think she's done. Is she? I couldn't tell you.
Yeah,
she's making money either way.
Yeah, she's doing her thing.
The coach is here. Stop talking.
Oh, okay.
Appreciate everybody's patience. Similar schedule today as last week. Just felt like that was the best thing for the guys. So, yeah, the guys are excited. Had a great couple meetings this morning, and we're back at it. So, what do you got?
You as a defensive coach, what do you like about the chess match of going against an elite offensive play caller and designer?
I wouldn't say my job is to help design a plan and coach the heck out of it with our guys and organize it with our staff, and, so they can go play great football and keep it simple and keep in our wheelhouse and against anybody we play. Sean's a tremendous play caller. He's a great offensive coordinator. They got a great they have a great offense, but the approach is the same every week.
Sam Darnold, or sorry, with your back, Stafford, the streak he's on right now, just the touchdowns efficiency. What do you see out of him?
Yeah, he's obviously a great player. He's only gone against him a few times in my career, but this is probably the best I've seen him. He's playing great football, decisive. They're putting him in great situations, diagnosing defense at a really high level, handling the protections at a high level. They're really explosive right now in their pass game, and then they're converting in in a lot of those conversion downs too, which keeps drives extended. So, yeah, he's playing great football.
Rams have forced a bunch of fumbles, Nate Landman in particular, and you guys had only one game that had no turnovers. How do you change that starting this week?
Well, I can tell you, how we approach what we do, and we're going to keep training the heck out of it and talking about it and showing examples and trying to find opportunities to do it. Train it today, tomorrow, and Friday, and offensively we're going to do the same thing. We're going to work our ball security drills. We're going to make sound decisions, and you have to have an awareness of when they're taking shots and who are the guys, but you got to make sure that you're on point with what you're doing.
By same schedule, you mean just ACT today?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What benefit do you think the schedule from last week had, if any, on how you guys played?
Well, I think last week was really driven by coming back from the East Coast. This week I felt like some of our skill guys with the workload that they've had needed to slow it down a little bit, and offensive line probably needed, they had a pretty big output on Sunday, so that'll help them as well.
What do you see just out of their defense as well? Just in general, they've added a lot of new players over the last couple of years.
Well, they do a lot of great things. The front's playing really well. I think best thing I can say is they're playing really complementary defense. They're attacking the football. When it's pass time and it's conversion down time and the red zone, they're executing at a high level and they work together. A lot of those principles, we're chasing as well on defense. So you see some of the philosophical similarities as well, but they execute, play hard. The front rushes well together, and they have a really good blitz package.
They tend to play a lot of dime relative to the rest of the league, and they're defending the run pretty well out of that. How are you seeing them able to do that?
Well, they fit it well. If the front isn't playing at a high level, then the ball gets on you quicker in the second level. So that's two of them, and then obviously playing with leads help. That discourages people running the ball.
Are Ernest, Torrey, and or Josh going to practice today or be on the field for ACT?
Yeah, so we're still going to work through those guys right now. I don't have an update on those guys. Looking positive. We're optimistic, but they'll be working in some capacity today. But it's kind of varied between a true walkthrough and an ACT practice, which is kicked up a little bit.
When it comes to DeMarcus Lawrence, so many people have said great things. In what ways is he as you expected, and in what ways is he maybe even more or better than you expected?
Well, the football player, the traits of how he plays is what we expected. Coming in, being a rugged, kind of dominant, disruptive player on early downs, and then how he rushed the passer in terms of setting other people up, pass rush games, things like that. That's consistent, which is great. Those are all great things. How he gets it done, you didn't know what his day-to-day approach was and the mentality that he had. So I think that's really helped, and it's been I wouldn't say it's a surprise. It's just you just don't know. You just not familiar with the person. And just really appreciate the person that he is every day and the competitor he is.
You mentioned the work ethic. Do you think that's what's allowed him to have this much success at this stage of his career after all those years with Dallas?
If you were to slice a pie, I'd say that's a big part of the pie. That's part of the message to the guys today in the team meeting is just you got to have an elite process. Those are the great ones do. The great teams do. And you're always attacking how you can make that process just a little bit better all the time. You don't have to reinvent anything. You don't have to, okay, today I try hard, tomorrow I'm going to take, it's just every day is just the same mental approach, and that's what D-Law does. It's a great example for the guys.
Along those same lines, Cooper Kupp's a guy that obviously came in with a really impressive resume. Just in addition to what we see on Sundays, what's he brought to this organization?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, it's another example that you can show look, this is how you do it. As a team, as a player, as a person. I can't say enough great things about Coop. We love him. I'm so happy he's here. I'm happy he's a Seahawk. He's a force multiplier. I think he's made a tremendous impact on his receiving room, the offense, and the team in general, and just in terms of our attitude and how you just approach, our business every day. Just think back. I'm thinking of him. I'm thinking of phase 2, the intent that we want to be able to operate with. We're look, we're trying to have great days back in the spring and stack great days, but also have a good time doing it. Where you're enjoying being with your teammates, and you finish the day and you say, shoot, that was a heck of a day. We got better. I got closer to my teammates. We had some fun. Had a great workout, and now let's go do it again the next day. And he's one of the top guys driving that whole bus.
How much can you learn from him, a guy who's played in the offenses he has and played so much football, when you just sit down and talk football with him?
Well, I mean, I don't really have a ton of conversations about how he sees routes and like leverages and things like that. Those are happening with other people. But I think the biggest asset that he's been for me is just really with the program and, how we designed a day like today. That's coming a lot from Coop. Travels. I mean, it's like he's got a lot of great ideas, and he's seen a lot of great things, and he's a sharp guy, and he understands like how that affects the players on a daily basis. So, I don't know. I just feel like you should be tapping into that knowledge. Anybody with that type of wisdom, you want to tap into, and should make us better.
Rams have been using a lot of 3 tight ends lately, and I'm just curious how that affects the ability to kind of decode protection schemes when you got extra tight ends out there.
Well, I wouldn't say it's much as protection, but they've been able to really manipulate front structures and coverage structures with those guys out there. So it's a credit to their tight ends. Shout out to Huff, he's a tight end coach. They're doing a great job with those guys. They're all playing in multiple spots, which is not easy to do, when you have multiple guys on the field and they're executing at a high level. So, but they haven't had to pass it that much at a 13. So,
to that point, Greg Olson actually was saying that if he was defensive coordinator, he would start matching down and distance rather than personnel. To your point about kind of dictating and manipulating, how do you balance that, their personnel versus their tendencies on any given down and distance?
Yeah, so sometimes I agree with him to a certain extent, to a large extent, I would say. There's always nuance to these things, and I'm sure, Greg knows that. It's just, sometimes there's opportunities to overmatch, sometimes there's opportunities to undermatch, sometimes you want to just match because you feel like that's the best thing for you for that particular situation. I don't know. It's kind of like a bigger, longer discussion for, where you could sit down and really go over it. But I think there's kind of a time and a place for everything. The driving force to me is just what gives you the best chance in that scenario to be able to defend and attack what they do with that given people on the field in that given situation. So sometimes that is going lighter and feeling like you can be able to hold it up against the run. Sometimes you feel like you can go heavier and take your chances against the pass if that's indeed how they operate. So I don't know. Those are the things you're thinking about.
What kind of asset is Nick when you're facing a team that wants to do multiple things, different personnel, that just kind of the combination of skill sets he has?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, we're trying to develop him more as a like a in-box run defender, where I think he can make some decisions a little bit quicker. But when he's playing his best ball, he's really heavy-handed. He's a tough guy to move, and he can also play great in space. So he gives you that flexibility to possibly. I mean, you guys know we stick with he's on the field a lot since he's been healthy, and it's been an asset for us. And those are decisions we have to make every week on how we want to deploy him.
Do you remember when you guys first came up with using AJ Barner as in kind of that push role? How that all kind of evolved?
Do I remember how it started?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Was it just a day of practice in May or something like that, or did you?
I don't ask for much, but that was something I asked for from our offense.
Specifically with AJ?
Yes.
Why?
He's big.
It may get overlooked, but how important is the work he has to do on the side to get? I mean, that snap is. Not
This decision we made in the spring, and it's credit to everybody involved. Like you got to handle. There's a ball handling involved, and the ball is really important. So you want to make sure you take care of that first and foremost. So they've taken a lot of snaps over the course of the off season, and he's willing to put in that extra work, which has been a credit to him.
What was the idea sparked by? Are there other teams that use their tight end in that role?
Yeah. Mm.
Are you expecting to?
Yeah.
Are you expecting Christian Haynes to be activated this week?
It's a possibility.
Mike, when you look at the way your run game performed on Sunday, what did you like about it when you went back and looked at it, and do you feel like there was like a step that you kind of made on that front?
Yeah, it's a great point. This is we've been saying it here for weeks, but it's the process that we're trying to stick with in our run game. A lot of great stuff. I'm probably most proud with how they finished the game. The guys were determined, and they're like we talked about there in the third quarter. Like we had to be able to start getting drives going and keeping the ball and moving the ball like in the fourth quarter while eliminating clock. And got to be able to run the ball in those moments. But when you watch our guys finish the plays, that was our style of football, and that's a great sign for things to build off moving forward.
Running game on the Rams side of things, I think it was about 2 yards downfield on Sunday before they met any sort of resistance or contact with defenders. How much of an advantage is that, and what coaching point would that be this week for your defense?
Well, I mean, that speaks to how well they're executing and how well they build their plays. The combinations are sound. They really don't allow a lot of people into the backfield. And their receivers do a great job in the run game as well. It takes a lot of work for them to be able to identify who they need to be able to block on any given down. You have to operate cadence-wise so people don't just run scot-free into your backfield. I mean, there's a lot of things that are happening on their end, attribute to them that means that they're executing at a high level, and so that's a good indicator of how well they're playing. But that's their style. They don't run every run in the history of football. They run a handful of plays really, really well, and they build in different ways every week.
Mike, you got a bunch of 20-something guys who are really into social media. Do you, as a staff, do you advise them on maybe cool it a little bit, or you leave them to do that responsibility themselves?
We haven't really talked about it officially. I mean, they're big boys; they can handle it. I think the challenge for us now is it's all just noise. It's just noise. We got to keep our eye on the process and focus on our. I mean, I say it every week, but it's just focus on us and focus on us being the best football team we possibly can be every time we walk out on the field. So I think our guys have been doing that. Now, when we smell that the intent isn't right, then we gotta make it right and we gotta fix it. But those episodes are happening further and farther between, which is a sign of growth from our guys. And you're proud of that. You're proud of their approach every day. So that's good. But I mean, it's just noise. It's just noise. Either way, we're playing well right now. We can. At some point, we're not going to play well, but at some point in the future, and it's going to be noise the other way. So it's just noise.
You guys were in dime quite a bit in that game, even though you were missing one of your top cornerbacks. What went into that?
Just how you want to match it for that given week, and like what we feel like Nick can do well. And we were in the lead, so we were playing some coverages that Nick can do well, and we felt like Nehemiah could go out there and execute at a high level. We felt like his matchup was good.
You mentioned giving Warring more. What is it about him now at this point in the season? Is it because he's now back from injury and he's just stacked some games together?
Yeah, it's part of the process. You don't, even though he's healthy, you can't just, all right, hey, you're going to do all these things. It's okay. Let's pick a handful of things that we feel like you're confident in doing, and as you show that you can execute those things and handle it, there's natural progressions on things that you can do. Where might look like he's doing something different, but it's really just maybe just a little bit of a change, a little deviation from what he's been doing, and we think like that's the way you can maintain that type of execution.
Is he even halfway to what you are going to all give him at some point?
I'm not sure. I think I haven't really thought about it. I haven't really thought about. Right, I'm really just thinking about how well we can get our guys to play right now. I know it sounds crazy. It's just like you don't have a lot of time to think about other than what it's going to take for our guys to go play well and how we can go help them. And that's really what we're thinking about.
He sounds like a guy that you're just going to say, let's try this, or I want to use him this way.
Well, yeah, so we have several guys like that where you sit down in game plan meetings and you're thinking, okay, how can we use so-and-so's abilities this game because we're trying to do X or we're trying to do Y, and then you say, okay, well can he do it? Okay, yes. Okay, well, is it worth it? Is the juice worth the squeeze? You're only going to get so many reps. How many times are we actually going to call this? What kind of return are we getting on our investment? So, but those are all part of the conversations. He's definitely one of those guys that we're talking about all the time. But the usual suspects. You're thinking about all those guys every week on how well we can deploy them.
Nehemiah earned
the reps you're giving him? I know you're going to say he's been consistent in practice, he hasn't changed.
Yep, that's exactly what I'm going to say.
What's been the uptick, if anything?
That's it. I mean, well, you produce. I think that's going to create it. It's like, I used the analogy before, but if you're a baseball player and you go up there and you get hits, you get on base, like, you're going to be in the lineup. You go out there and you play good football and you do what you're supposed to do, then you're going to be in the lineup. It's how it works.
What did you think of how Brandon Peely and Mike Morris and the kind of group up there kind of covered the loss of Jaron?
Yeah, well, I appreciate the mentality, the approach. There's some good plays. I want us to finish the game better. We got no business giving up that short yardage run. Good play by them. Played it better than us, but that's not our standard. Those guys happen to be out there during that play.
How's Jake Bobo?
Jake's good. He'll be out there in some capacity today.
And with just how good the Rams are and what you guys want to be this season, is this a good test to see where you guys are?
I'm going to say yes, but I'm going to say, if you would ask me that last week, I would say yes. It's just, every time we go out there, it's going to be a test of what kind of team we can become. This is a different scenario that we haven't necessarily been in yet, but last week is a scenario we haven't been in. We haven't been in a situation where we're coming off a decisive victory and coming back home. So that was kind of that was last week's. This week's, now we're going to play the Rams on the road for the first time this season. So it's just every week's a new challenge, and the guys have been up for them.
Anything else?
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
All right, that is the latest from head coach Mike Macdonald when it comes to his team getting ready for a massive Week 11 game against the Rams. The first meeting between these two teams, by the way. Bump, you talked earlier about how eerily similar they are. Still to come in the show, we're going to have some reactions to what we learned from Mike Macdonald. The Ringer show Kapadia is going to join us at 1. He ranked his NFC teams on the latest episode of the Ringer NFL show. So we'll find out where he stands on the Seattle Seahawks. First, though, it's a showdown you won't want to miss. Sam Darnold against the Vikings. The Seahawks season's in full swing, and we want to send you and 3 friends to the November 30th game against Minnesota. All you need to do is open the Seattle Sports app and click the Win tab to find out how. If you don't already have the app, text the word app, APP, to 866-979-3776, and we will send you a link to download. Enter daily to increase your chances to win. This contest runs through Monday, November 17th. Reactions coming up next.
Hawks Live.
This should be fun.
Presented by the Dining District at the Bellevue Collection. Tomorrow night from 7 to 9 p.m. Live from Bellevue Square Center Court. Come on by and join hosts Michael Bumpus and Paul Moyer. With this week's guest, Seahawks wide receiver Rashid Shaheed. Touchdown! Hawks Live. Tomorrow night from 7 to 9 p.m. Exclusively on the home of the Seahawks. Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
It's always such a pleasure for me to catch up with you, Shannon O'Kelly, President and CEO of IRG Physical and Hand Therapy. And as I understand it, calendar year is wrapping up. There's never a better time to take care of your aches and pains. Why?
Well, it's always a great time to come see us here at IRG Physical and Hand Therapy. We'll take care of your aches and pains. We'll get you better. But particularly, Brock, at the end of the year, most people have met their deductibles. They may have HSA, may have FSA funds. So use the opportunity to use your insurance to treat those aches and pains so you're not taking them into the new year. So you're healthy, fit, and you're excited about the new year. That's what it's all about. Here at IRG, we are so dedicated to making sure our patients really understand the insurance because it's a complex world. So when you call us, we're going to help you navigate your insurance. But I will tell everybody listening right now, if you've met your deductible, get your aches and pains treated here at IRG. We'll take care of you. We'll take care of your insurance. We'll take care of your family. We'll take care of everybody.
Clinics up and down the Puget Sound for you to go visit or see them online at irgpt.com.
1877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids. 1877 Cards for Kids. Donate your card today.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877 Cars for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877 Cars for Kids. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
A 15-year-old girl who chewed through a rope to escape a serial killer.
I used my front teeth to saw on the rope in my mouth.
The killer prowled the Pacific Northwest in the early 70s. He's been convicted of murdering 2 young women, but suspected of many more.
Maybe there's another one in that area.
Follow and binge all episodes of Stolen Voices of Dole Valley, available now wherever you listen.
Want more Seahawks content? Join me, G. Scott, on The Reset. New episodes of the podcast every Monday and Thursday on YouTube or on the Seattle Sports app.
Hi, this is Nancy Penrose, owner of Big Trees in Snohomish. Big Trees has certified arborists and site experts who help you select the right trees for the right location on your property. When Big Trees installs a tree, we offer a 1-year warranty and 1 free aftercare visit from a board-certified master arborist. To learn more about our process, visit BigTreeSupply.com.
When it comes to the security of your business, doubts can creep in about who you're trusting to protect it. Are they a reliable service? How will I know if something happens? Are they keeping everyone safe? At Bay Alarm, we got you. For nearly 80 years, we've been putting our customers' minds at ease with our advanced technology and personalized support. Feeling insecure about your current security service? Visit bayalarm.com today to talk to a local security expert.
This is for all you guys on Viagra. ED pills are no longer needed. The brutal side effects like 4-hour headaches, blurred vision, and that flush feeling can all be put behind you with our treatment. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we have a better approach to ED. Acoustic wave therapy creates blood flow circulation by safely removing the plaque in your arteries and restoring function naturally. Guys, let me be clear. Pills will never fix your problem. Our equipment is the latest technology, and our medical staff is the best in the industry. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. If you suffer from ED or Peyronie's disease, give West Coast Men's Health a call today. It's not just about better health. It's about a better life.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Coming up in 15 minutes, we're going to be joined by the ringer Sheil Kapadia to talk about the NFC. We're not going to do a full power ranking, but figure out a bit of the power balance between the Rams and Seahawks heading into this Week 11 matchup. Find out how he feels about the Eagles. He's covered that team. He's covered the Seahawks, but he covers the Eagles. He knows them well. I'm having a hard time placing them in the Lions. It's like, I know, in my mind, they were Super Bowl favorites entering the season coming out of the NFC.
You have a problem replacing them in the Lions?
Placing them in my mind. So right now, if you were to ask me who are the best teams in the NFC, I would say I think it's the Seahawks and Rams. But what do I do with the Eagles and Lions? They're right there. They're staring at me. They're looking at me in my eyes, and they're really good. And I don't know what to do with them.
Don't look a lion in his eyes. He takes it as a threat.
Never do it.
Don't do that.
Never do it. I won't.
No.
I promise I won't. Before we get to some Macdonald reactions, do you actually have a thought on whether or not you put
Eagles
either
are the
team?
best team in the conference.
Well, you and Tom Brady both think that.
Eagles are the best. And then 2, 3, you can go Rams or Seahawks.
Is it the roster that does that?
It's the roster. It's the pedigree. It's the schedule. They just got it for me right now. Even though, here's the thing, even though they didn't play the best game on, was that Monday night? When they needed to make plays, they made plays. And that's what champions do.
Also, I love that the barnyard is now becoming an official thing to where it was introduced at the press conference. Mike Macdonald asked about it. And I have to credit the listener, whoever was listening to Wyman and Bob and texted it in.
Yeah.
And then Wyman started saying it, and then Wyman and Rabel started saying it.
You better get a trademark.
And
man.
then AJ Barner heard it, and then I'm saying they're definitely gonna trademark the barnyard. Whoever texted that in first, and there's gonna be literally receipts because we can see the dates of texts.
Better ask for your money, dog.
You better go get your money for the barnyard.
For real.
Well, you should have sent it in with a trademark.
Should have waited.
They should have said, my lawyer would like to suggest the barnyard. But I guess cool that they're rolling with that now. Some injury updates. You have Torrey Horton, who is still dealing with the same thing. He's got a groin shin injury. Ernest Jones with a knee injury. Josh Jobin concussion protocol. No updates on those guys yet. But they're going to be working in some capacity. Hopefully can make it back. Ernest Jones feels like the most obvious answer to who's the most important guy to get back.
You know, I said on our post-game show after the game, I said the messed up part about this is that Tyrese Knight could have that game again. As soon as Ernest Jones is ready to play, he is going to play. It's like you had the game of your life, caused 2 turnovers, assisted in a touchdown or 2 touchdowns, and
keep that man there.
Ernest is going to keep his job. But what this does do, it allows the Seahawks to show more depth. Like if something were to happen, if we need Tyrese, he's more than capable of playing some ball. But yeah, it's about Ernest Jones getting back in there, man. And you won him against the old ops too, his old team. So that's gonna be fun.
Okay, so no updates on Ernest Jones, just because I know you guys are gonna ask. No updates on Torrey Horton. No updates on Ernest Jones. No updates on Josh Jobe. There was an update on Jake Bobo, who's been dealing with a calf injury. It was listed as an Achilles and then changed to a calf. He's expected to be in practice in some capacity. That's an upgrade for him.
Yeah, get right. You need all hands on deck for this one, man. I know Bobo doesn't. What does he have, like maybe 4 or 5 catches or something this year? But he helps out on special teams. You need everybody ready to go. The one thing that concerns me is that Bobo and Derek Young, if he gets healthy too, then Cody White is probably going to get put on practice squad again. And I firmly believe he should be rostered the rest of this year because he does a whole bunch of things to help this team.
Okay, so those are my injury updates that I have that felt noteworthy. Was there any to come? Oh, Jalen Sandell, we already know that he's going to be missing time. You've got Olu. Any lingering thoughts on that one? They didn't talk about it really during the press conference. Everyone already knows what the status is. Are you still confident in this offensive line with Olu? He's been there, done that.
Yeah, I mean, Jalen Sandell was there for a reason. He won that job, right? But Oluwatimi's been waiting. He's been a starter before. He's been here before. So, no, will it be as smooth as with Jalen? We'll find out. I don't think it will be, but I don't think it's going to be anything that will deter this team from grasping a victory.
Speaking of the barnyard, I want to get back to what Mike Macdonald said about it and how it actually came up in conversation. I'm going to read Brian Nemhauser's summary of it because the interview just happened. We don't have audio yet, but he asked Mike Macdonald, hey, how did AJ Barner tush push? I'm going to call it the barnyard. How did that come into existence? Why did it happen? Mike Macdonald, I didn't ask for much, but I asked for that. And he was asked why. And he said, quote, he's big.
I wonder if he's ever taken a snap before that. I'm sure he's played quarterback at some point in his life. It wasn't funny, but it was interesting when Sandell goes down. Obviously, Oluwatimi comes on the field. Sam Darnold starts taking snaps from him, and then so does AJ.
Someone said, what the heck is up with Love? Love is on IR. When did they place him? It's a 4-game minimum. Curtis, do you remember when Love was placed on IR? Has it been 2 weeks already? I'm blanking on it. Anyways, he's on IR, so one thing to know when players are on IR is that they do not speak to the media, that you typically don't ask about them. So it's just kind of like put on pause. So you're probably not going to get updates on Love unless Mike Macdonald offers them.
Hey, we have a problem. Moses in Walla Walla said, shout out, thank you. I got receipts for the barnyard.
Oh.
But then 509 says, it was me. I take pleasure when y'all refer to it.
I have to do some digging. I have to do some digging. Well, now, hear me out.
And they're both in the 509.
No, but listen. Here's what I wonder. You know how sometimes you think of, Curtis, you've done this probably. You make lots of jokes on Twitter. There are probably times when you've thought of something and someone's been like, someone else said that. And you're like, it's just a joke. Like, it's just, you can have two people think of the same thing. I think the barnyard's in that category of jokes. Brilliant when you hear it, but theoretically, hypothetically, two funny people could think of it.
Yeah.
But I will.
Who said it first, though?
Well, I'm going to scroll back and I'm going to look at the timestamps to actually.
It's true. We've got those. We can prove who said it first.
I mean, with the 509, so when would it have happened? Let me go back to, let's see, we're in June. The 509 was publicly reading through your text. Sorry.
You can do it in a break.
Yeah, I'll do it. Good idea, Curtis. Sorry. Back on track, Stacy. Back on track. Okay. Any other news items to come from this? I mean, really, injuries are the only thing we're watching for. It was fun to hear that update on the barnyard and Mike Macdonald kind of requesting to add it in himself. Good news on Jake Bobo. I think I've covered my bases here. Let's just get this game going. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, I'm with it. It is just Wednesday, though. Only the second work day for these guys. So keep preparing. I just want to see how they decide to attack Matthew Stafford. Like I said earlier, both these guys are good against the blitz.
Yeah.
They're excellent. And both these teams don't really blitz because they don't have to. What's going to change in this game? So who makes a bigger adjustment? And then I'm looking at the Rams. All right, is Devontae Adams going to be available? With an oblique? Probably not. I'm going to look up and see what the Rams camp is talking about. So how do you take advantage of that? But also this offense is the type of offense to where you just kind of plug a guy in, and he's probably going to make a couple plays.
Are the Seahawks the best team in the NFC? Let's ask the ringer, Sheil Kapadia, next.
Brock and Salk.
The Seahawks are 7-2, Brock.
Morning 6 to 10.
Taking on a division rival who is also 7-2. What do they call it? The America's Game of the Week?
Oh, yeah.
Afternoon. The Big Crew. Fox is going with Chicago and Minnesota. What? What are you talking about? Chicago and Minnesota? Joe Davis, Greg Olsen, the number 2 game on Fox.
Brock and Salk, only on Seattle Sports.
Hi, I'm Justin Shirley. We offer 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments for 24 months on new roofs. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF now. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
Lowe's knows pros want more. Join My Lowe's Pro Rewards for free to get $20 off your first qualifying purchase of $100 or more just for signing up. Plus, enjoy free standard shipping and more ways to save on your next job. Lowe's, we help, you save. Offer valid for new members only. Not valid with any other discount. Free standard shipping not available in Alaska and Hawaii. Exclusions and more terms apply. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Visit Lowe's.com/pro loyalty for details. Subject to change.
I know a lot of you guys are listening from your phones right now, so it's the perfect time to give a shout out to my friends over at AT&T. The other guys will make claims saying this and that about how great their network is, and I'm just here to set the record straight that AT&T is America's fastest and most reliable wireless network. I don't know about you guys, but it just gives me so much peace of mind when I'm going to do the things I love, and I know my wireless networks got me. Like if I'm going to a concert or a basketball game or even something outdoorsy, knowing I'm going to have fast service and can share what I'm up to is a game changer. You want to know you can post what you want to post, call who you want to call, and with AT&T, it literally doesn't matter where you're going. I promise you, they're already there. Don't just take it from me. Actual tests prove AT&T is America's fastest and most reliable wireless network. When you compare, there is no comparison. Based on RootMetrics' United States Root Score Report 1H 2025, tested with best commercially available smartphones on 3 national mobile networks across all available network types. Your experiences may vary. RootMetrics rankings are not an endorsement of AT&T.
Carpoolers using the SR 167 Express toll lanes now need a Flex Pass set to HOV mode to ride free. That's a change. Having Good to Go always costs less than pay by mail. That is not a change. Learn more at goodtogo167.com.
Makita's built for the pros who show up early, who don't do shortcuts, only precise cuts. With tools built to last, Job after job, year after year. Performance that pays off. Because when the job calls for the best, you answer. And when you need the best, you call on Makita. Built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
250 years ago, a promise was made to connect families and friends near and far. And during the holidays, that promise is more important than ever. That's why USPS is building a better network to meet your needs with timely deliveries, easy and affordable ways to ship, and everything you need to make your season full of holiday cheer. Our purpose is delivering your peace of mind, knowing your love will arrive, bringing joy to all. The United States Postal Service. Learn more at USPS.com/holidays.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Here's a tale of Becky. Didn't know what to do with new meds prescribed and no real cost clue.
She squinted at prices, that can't be right. Then tapped GoodRx and saw the light.
She can get a deal. Book telehealth if she feel.
Learn about those meds without any stress. That one little app does all the rest. Even my horse downloaded it. Dang, save time and money on prescriptions.
Check GoodRx. GoodRx is not insurance.
Hi, I'm Emily, your friend and jeweler at Sheil Company, where a small box with a burgundy bow will help you win the holidays. As an in-house designer, I love creating meaningful, fine jewelry gifts. Choose a necklace with a gorgeous infinity charm to symbolize your everlasting love. Or go for a personalized piece with an engraving, their zodiac sign, favorite color gemstone, or their initial accented with pave diamonds. Because a friend wants you to be a holiday hero. Stop by or shop now at shaneco.com. Sheil Company, your friend and jeweler.
You've heard the saying, you never get a second chance to make a first impression. Since 1926, my family's been helping local businesses make great first, second, and long-term impressions. We know how to make your company look good with quality uniforms, logoed apparel, floor mats, linens, and more. If you're paying for linen service or doing it yourself, let's have the conversation. The information and quote are free, but the savings and service can really add up. Visit suplinen.com. Superior Linen Service. It's what we do.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports.
This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Kraken fell to the Blue Jackets last night 2-1 in a shootout, and with that, Seattle dropped 2 straight. A chance to bounce back tomorrow against the Jets. Also playing tomorrow, the other Jets. It's Jets-Patriots for Thursday Night Football on Amazon Prime. Kickoff at 5:15.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. The Ringer Sheil Kapadia joining us now on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. And Sheil, we were just talking the other day about, hey, the Seahawks feel like they're first in power rankings, second, maybe third, fourth for quite a few outlets right now, but everyone feels a little hesitant to say they're a Super Bowl team. And we were talking with Aaron Schatz, and he just pointed out the elephant in the room and goes, oh, well, yeah, Sam Darnold. That's why people are probably hesitating. When you look at this team, and I did, just spoiler alert, listen to your NFC playoff prediction earlier, so I know you have them winning the division, but do you have that same hesitation with Darnold?
I think a little bit, probably. You know, just because he hasn't done it before. So when you start comparing the Seahawks to the other teams in the NFC, and you say, all right, the Rams, Matthew Stafford has won a Super Bowl. Jalen Hurts has won a Super Bowl. They've played well in very big moments in the playoffs in their past. And with Darnold, it doesn't mean he can't do it. It doesn't mean he won't do it. It just means, all right, well, we haven't seen it yet, so let's maybe proceed with a little bit of caution. But there's no doubt in my mind that they are on the short list of Super Bowl contenders, and the way they've played this year, just dominating teams. They blow teams out and they don't get blown out. That's when you look at it, that's like, oh, okay, they're going to be in every game and they're taking care of business and they're not messing around. So I think they check off a lot of boxes, but yeah, I do understand a little bit of hesitancy there.
You mentioned, them blowing teams out and not being blown out. They do have 2 losses to some pretty good teams, right? You got the Niners and you have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which makes this week just that much more important, as a measuring stick. How good is this team really? What do you think will be the deciding factor when the Seahawks play the Rams?
Oh, man, I'm so excited about just kind of the chess match between McVay and Mike Macdonald. I mean, I think there's a strong case that that's the best offensive play caller and the best defensive play caller in the NFL. And this Rams offense has really evolved this year. There's really nothing they don't do well. You're not going to go in and surprise them or come up with some huge wrinkle with your game plan. But at the same time, with the way that Seahawks defense is playing, with the way their pass rush specifically, I think that's the big thing. When you face great offenses, we've seen it over the years. When you look at the playoffs and guys like Patrick Mahomes, it's like, well, when do they actually lose? When does the offense actually not look good? And so many times it's just, all right, an opposing defense was able to pressure them with 4, didn't have to blitz a lot, broke down their protections. And so that, to me, is the most interesting aspect of this. Can you pressure Stafford? Can you force him into some negative plays? Because I don't think you're going to completely shut them down, but I do think the Seahawks have a better chance than basically any other defense in the NFL to at least slow them down and then create some explosives on offense and come out of there with a win.
Wanted to look at the Seahawks offense for a little bit of this matchup, and in particular, the run game. We know that the pass game is not only explosive, but the JSN is leading all receivers in yards. Sam Darnold looks exceptional. They are turning the ball over as an offense with some fumbles, but some of those are bad luck. Either way, the run game is really fascinating to me because it's typically the knock, fairly, Sheil, that I think a lot of people give Seattle's offense, but it's also led to fewer sacks. It's led to some nice play action opportunities. How do you gauge what kind of value, or lack thereof, it's bringing Seattle right now?
Yeah, I felt like last week it started to get going a little bit. Yeah. Now, that was a one-game sample, so we'll see if they can keep it going. But, yeah, I thought they ran the ball pretty well last week. I think their whole offense, and I know Greg Olsen on the broadcast and even on social media has mentioned this before, their whole offense is predicated on we're going to go with big personnel, multiple tight ends on the field on early downs. And then if you're a defense, you say, all right, well, we better put our big guys on the field to stop the run. And then they hit you with the play action and create explosive plays downfield. So it's going to be interesting to see, will defenses continue to play them that way? Or will they say, no, we're just, we don't think you can really gash us running the football, so we're going to be comfortable playing with whatever it is, nickel personnel, 5 defensive backs. And if you want to try to run the ball on us, go ahead, but we're not just going to give up those explosive plays that you've been feasting on here. So I don't know if that might happen this week. We'll see what the Rams do on those early downs. I think that's a key to watch. First and second down, are the Seahawks just committed to running the football? Can they run the football? And are the Rams defending them, saying, hey, we want to stop the run? Or are they saying, you can run the ball a little bit, but we're going to stop those explosive plays?
What I like about offenses like what the Rams do, and even the Niners, it's like, all right, well, you can have a couple guys down, but the system is going to get guys open. With that being said, what's the status of Devontae Adams? And if he's not in there, how do you think this offense can change?
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to go. I know the injury reports will come out later today. I know it was an oblique thing that he had last week. I think he said he could have gone back in the game, so we'll see. He has been a tremendous red zone threat for them. I think he's got 9 touchdowns. I think he leads all wide receivers. So early in the season, it was a little shaky with his chemistry with Matthew Stafford, which is understandable when they're playing together for the first time, but they've really found their connection as the season has gone on. So if he's not there, I think the red zone is a big area to watch. Is it a bend but don't break type deal where, hey, the Rams might move the football, but if they have to settle for field goals, then the Seahawks still have a great chance to win there. But, Puka Nacua, he's still there, and he is a top 5 wide receiver in the NFL as far as I'm concerned, and so they still have kind of their go-to guy in that offense regardless.
I'm having a hard time figuring out what to make of San Francisco. No disrespect to Arizona, who just lost Marvin Harrison for a little while here. But I feel like San Francisco could still be a wild card, even though they're very banged up. They're getting a few of these guys back. It makes your final game against them a little tricky. You still have 2 more to play against the Rams. Do you see them as a wild card here or threatening either the Rams or Seattle?
I think I see them more as a wild card team, not as an NFC West. I mean, they could. They've just sort of hung around, and you keep looking at the standings every week and being like, oh, they're still kind of in there. And then every week they have another guy go down with an injury. I think offensively what they've done has been very impressive with Mac Jones starting 8 games, and now I think they're going to get Ricky Pearsall, their wide receiver, back, and Brock Purdy comes back at some point. So I think they can move the football most weeks, and that usually gives you a chance. But, man, defensively, when you lose Bosa and Warner for the year, I just think you've started to see them come apart a little bit. And when they face good offenses like they did last week against the Rams, you can't lose your 2 superstars, 2 of the best players at their positions in the NFL, and expect that you're not going to have a massive drop-off. So for that reason, I don't really take them seriously as like a Super Bowl contender in the NFC. I would have 5-6 teams probably ahead of them in the NFC in terms of likelihood to get to the Super Bowl, but that doesn't mean they're irrelevant. I think they could certainly spring some upsets here in the second half of the season. I think they can make the playoffs. And again, with Shanahan, with that offense, I think they can hang around in a lot of these games.
Hey, the tough thing about just football is that you have 1 game a week, and then you have a full week to just dissect everything, right? I could make an argument that the Seahawks aren't contenders if I wanted to, just because, there's a lot of time and a lot of film to watch. But if there's something that you still are looking to see from the Seahawks, what would it be?
I think it's, when they get behind in a game and have to throw the football, what does the offense look like? They're just jumping on these teams and winning 35-0 in the second quarter. It feels like every week I look up and they're up by, 3, 4, 5 touchdowns in the second quarter. I know I looked at it last week, and I think they had attempted fewer passes than any other team in the NFL when trailing. And so what I mentioned earlier with the way their offense is really built, which is, hey, you don't know if we're going to run or pass. And when you think we're going to run, that's when we're going to hit you over the top with explosive passes. If they're in a situation where they have to pass, they're down, 2 possessions in the fourth quarter, and the opponent knows, all right, we're not really worried about you running the ball right now. We know you have to pass it. Can they pass it in those situations? I mean, I think there's a likelihood that they can with the way they've been playing, but that's just kind of the one thing I want to see. And maybe we see it this weekend against the Rams when they face a formidable opponent. But that's the one thing I kind of have my eye on with them going forward here.
I would probably have the Rams and Seahawks combating for maybe my best team in the NFC right now, with plenty of bias that I will fully admit. But I want to take a look at another here, and this one entered the season as the favorite in the NFC. Sheil, you know a ton about the Eagles, and they're coming off a win, which is great. I saw Tom Brady rank them as his top team in his power rankings yesterday. I'm still unsure what to make of them. They're so clearly chock full of talent, and then they've got these weird stats once in a while that I'm not sure what to make of. Tell me kind of where the Eagles rank if you were to do your NFL power standings, kind of how you see them right now.
Yeah, well, first of all, I need a documentary on Brady doing those power rankings. I've seen the clips. He's usually in his kitchen. Is he reading a teleprompter?
Absolutely. There's
an
intern
going through. Yeah, who's putting that together? I mean, I would be very interested in that Tom Brady content, just in case anyone is listening who hasn't in for that. But, Eagles are a tough team. I think they've got the pedigree. They're the defending champs. They still probably are the most talented team in the NFL, and they've only lost 2 times. So it's not like, they've stumbled here. They've had the hardest schedule in the NFL. Really, it's offensively and with their passing game. It's a lot of the questions that you had with them last year were just why are there spurts where it feels like everything is so hard when you have A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith and Jalen Hurts? It shouldn't look this hard some of these weeks, and we saw that Monday night against Green Bay. And their run game really has not been nearly as good as it was last year with Saquon Barkley. So that's the other thing. They don't have that one thing to kind of hang their hat on offensively. I think they're so talented, and I think the defense is coming on that they're going to be competitive in a lot of these games. You just kind of want to see them have some level of consistency with the offense in the passing game. So I still have them up there. You know, if I'm looking at the NFC, I've got Eagles, Seahawks, Lions, and Rams kind of in that top tier, where I think if any of those teams made the Super Bowl, it wouldn't surprise me. And I think the Packers have a chance to get back up there, although they haven't been impressive here in recent weeks. But yeah, I would put those four in kind of my top tier in the NFC. And I think the NFC's been better than the AFC this year. You know, they don't have the star power at quarterback at the top, but you look at some of these teams in the AFC who are going to be in the playoffs, and I think the NFC has way more depth.
Yeah, I'll take over to the AFC. Patriots, what are they, 7-2, 8-2? Are they for real? And how do you think they finish the season? They do have, I think, the softest schedule remaining. Just your thoughts on New England.
Yeah, I think they've had the softest past schedule and they have the softest remaining schedule. But when they have faced formidable opponents, they went to Buffalo and beat the Bills. They went to Tampa and beat the Bucs. So they've kind of shown in those situations that they're not frauds. I think they are for real. You know, I think with that schedule, I picked them to be the 1 seed in the AFC this week just because I look at how many wins they've had and what their remaining schedule is like. Now, do I think they're going to make the Super Bowl? Now, I wouldn't pick them against a team like the Chiefs or the Bills just because of the experience and Mahomes and Josh Allen. But, yeah, I think Drake May has been exceptional this year. I think they're probably still a year away just in terms of building out that roster and the talent, but I have been very impressed with Drake May and what they've done so far.
What about the Colts? Bump was wondering if they start to have a little bit of regression. What do you see from them?
Yeah, I kind of feel like they are gonna have a little bit of regression. I think they're a good team. I think the numbers they've put up so far offensively are going to be hard to sustain. I think there's going to be some more turnovers with them, just kind of with Daniel Jones' style of play. But there's no doubt they move the football pretty much every week. I think Shane Steichen's done an outstanding job. It feels like they get to 400, 500 yards every single week here. I don't love their defense. I didn't love their, I thought their trade was a little too aggressive for me, given where they are as a franchise. And so I think they win that division. I think they're a playoff team, but I think the second half is not going to look quite as good as the first half looked for them.
$1 million question. Who's your MVP so far?
Oh, man, I was just, you know what? I think it probably comes down. There are a few. I think I would go with Drake May right now. You know, just when you look at where usually the MVP, it's not that hard to predict. You're the 1 or the 2 seed in your conference, and you put out, and you're a quarterback, and you put up big-time stats. And I don't think that's been a great situation for him in terms of the offensive line and the supporting cast. It's not like he's being carried by the guys around him, and I think he's played really, really well. So I think he would probably be my pick right now. I think Stafford has a very good case as well. I think if they beat the Seahawks this weekend and he plays well, I think you're going to see him start to get a lot of hype as well.
Latest episode of the Ringer NFL show up right now, predicting the NFC playoff field going into Week 11. He is the Ringer Sheil Kapadia. Thanks, Sheil.
All right, thanks, guys. Talk to you soon.
Have a good one. It's a showdown you won't want to miss. Sam Darnold versus the Vikings. The Seahawks season is in full swing, and we want to send you and 3 friends to the November 30th game against Minnesota. All you need to do is open the Seattle Sports app and click the Win tab to find out how. If you don't already have the app, you can get it wherever you would normally download your apps, or simply text the word app, APP, to 866-979-3776, and we'll send you a link to download. Enter daily to increase your chances to win. This contest runs through Monday, November 17th. Let's get to 4 Down territory.
This is 4 Down territory, going inside the game with former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
First down. How are Sam Darnold and Matthew Stafford similar?
They are both good against the blitz. Last week against the 49ers, Stafford was 13 of 18 for 161 yards and 4 touchdowns, all against the blitz. You blitz that man, he's going to get after you. Sam Darnold is number 1 against the blitz in the NFL this year, 90.6 grade against the blitz, and also they both will play action the heck out of you. The Rams run play action rate 28% of the time. 100 attempts, they got 880 yards during play action, and then Sam Darnold has 64 play action attempts, 808 yards. So less plays being ran here. Attempts are going to be up, the play action pass. So they're both good against the blitz, and they both are good with the play action.
Second down. What's a personnel group the Hawks will see more of this weekend?
Man, they're going to see 13 personnel. So that means 1 running back and 3 tight ends. They are going to overload one side, run to that side, run to the opposite side. Guys like Nick and Mawari need to have a big game. So they run 13 personnel 16.93% of the time. That's the most in the NFL. They like to pack it in. I'm interested to see how the Hawks are going to kind of combat this, right? Nick's going to have a big game. Going to roll down safety, Kobe Bryant. Drake's going to have a good game. They really pack it in, and it's impressive. They make formations look alike and plays look alike just with a little tweak, and Matthew does a good job of getting the football out of his hands. So it's going to be big boy football. It's big boy football with explosive plays in the pass game as well.
Yeah.
Mike Macdonald is in the lab right now trying to figure out how he's going to attack this. No team trusts 3 tight ends out there more than the Rams. So this is something they have not seen before. I think the Arizona Cardinals were like 7th in the league when it comes to 3 tight end personnel, but the Rams are number 1. So they've kind of had a taste of the 3 tight end personnel last week, but this week it's going to be a lot.
I have a follow-up question about the tight ends, if that's okay. Trey McBride was still getting his targets, still getting his yards. Is that something where it's just Trey McBride and you're going to give up some stuff to Arizona because you're otherwise stopping them? Or is there something within this defense that might be susceptible to tight end usage?
No, I think Trey McBride made a lot of contested catches too.
Yeah.
Nick and Mawari had like 3 passes defended on him. He's going to get his. It stems just from the play action. Even the Arizona Cardinals run a good amount of play action with Jacoby Brissett back there. It's getting the eyes of the defense. No defense is going to be perfect, right? No defense is going to just be great against the play action and never be fooled. I think that was more the case with Arizona. Trey McBride is probably the best tight end in the game right now, or one of them. And then the play action game forces these linebackers to step up. It creates gaps in the second and third level. When you sneak a tight end out there like McBride, you're going to be good to go. Also, the Rams do a lot of tight end delays, man. That tight end is going to block on the edge, and he'll release late. And Matthew Stafford does a great job of finding him late. He'll keep his eyes down the field. There's nothing there. There's always a check down. They're going to make you work. And I want to see how Nick and Mawari does.
You know what? I'd be really curious to see right now if it was like fantasy football, I got to be NFL GM. I would plop Trey McBride into the Packers offense now that they've lost Tucker Kraft. And I just go like, what's this look like? What happens here? Third down. What unit will need to carry the Seahawks on Sunday?
This will be the best offensive line they have seen so far. They are so impressive on film. I know if my son was here, he would say, "Stop glazing the Rams, Dad." Well, I'm not glazing. I'm just getting y'all ready for what's going to happen here. All right? This is the best offensive line they have seen thus far. They're great on the double teams. They get to the second level. Rarely does one just blow by this offensive line. Stafford's been sacked 14 times. That's the 3rd fewest among starters. According to PFF, this O-line is ranked number 4. I went to PFF after I watched the film. I'm watching the film, and I'm thinking, this line is awesome. Last week, that line was garbitis, right? But this week, I'm watching the film. I'm like, they're so technically sound. They're not missing assignments. They're getting to that second level. PFF has to have them ranked high. Lo and behold, they're ranked 4th. Matthew Stafford was only sacked once against the Niners. The Niners are missing some guys, right? So that's going to play a role in that. But just assignment-wise and technique-wise, they get to where they're supposed to be. Most of the time, they're controlling the matchup. And that's why last week, the Rams were able to rush for 124 yards. It was just bodies on bodies. The D-line's going to have their best day. And I think they can have their best day. This is the heavyweight matchup. I know we're talking about, we threw special teams in there. Sean McVay and Macdonald and the quarterback situation. The heavyweight fight is going to be in the trenches. You have probably a top 5 offensive line versus a top 5 defensive line going at it. That's the matchup you want to watch. I know you want to follow the football, and you should because it's fun. You know, the ball being thrown everywhere.
Big names.
Yeah, but look at this matchup in the trenches. It's going to be big.
4th down. All right, well, how are these defenses similar?
These guys, man. So when it comes to blitzing, the Rams blitz 17.8% of the time. Seahawks 17.3. Pressure rate. Rams create pressure 24% of the time. Seahawks 25. QB knockdowns. The Rams have 31. Seahawks 30. Passing touchdowns. The Rams have given up 12, and Seahawks have given up 13. And they do it without sending a lot of pressure, right? You get pressure on the quarterback, you get it with 4. The more I watch these two defenses, the more I watch these two offenses, I'm like, It's like we live in a parallel universe
annoying.
right now. It's crazy. The blitz stats from the quarterbacks. I'm looking for the edge, and there's going to be an edge out there because, like I always say, humans have to play the game, and sometimes humans don't show up and make some mistakes that they typically do not make. But these defenses are similar, these quarterbacks are similar, these offenses are similar. This is I'm not getting nervous. I'm getting anxious.
I'm a little bit nervous. It would be like if the Lions and the Eagles last year were like in the same division. Like it's two really, really good teams that are really physical. In the Lions and Eagles case, Seahawks and Rams doing it a bit differently. Still physical, but a bit differently. It would be great if like the most dominant, complete Seahawks team that I can remember for a while wasn't happening in the same season and division as a really, really, really good Rams team. But hey, beat the best to be the best. You know?
You got to square up, man. This is there's going to be about 3 to 4 plays that will propel a team in this game. Is it going to be special teams? The thicker kicker is going to play this week, right? Is it going to be the return game? Will the Seahawks finally get their run game going and have a big performance? I can't say finally. They did rush for 198 last week. But have one guy kind of lead the charge. Big up Charbonnet, who had like 83 of them things last week. Yeah, one team is going to have to do something they typically don't excel at. And both teams are looking at the run game and saying, all right, if we can break a couple big ones here, maybe that will do it. Who's going to get after the quarterback? The Hawks are top 5 when it comes to sacks. The Rams are right behind them, not too far. Byron Murphy has 9. Can you stop him from having a big day? He's like 5th in the league when it comes to, not Byron Murphy. Byron Young is 9 when it comes to sacks. There's just so many angles to look at this game and try to figure out who's going to have the edge, but it comes down to just the humans making plays.
Truth, there are a number of Seahawks fans and Rams fans that will answer that one team has an obvious advantage somewhere because you're a fan. Of course you're going to see it that way. I cannot see an area where one team has an obvious edge over the other. The closest you could possibly get to is if you have just a drastically more belief in Matthew Stafford over Sam Darnold and you think Sam Darnold's being lucky, in which case I just wouldn't agree with you, but that could be one option. And the other would be the run game. But it's not like the Rams have the best run game, and we're not talking about, a Lions offense firing on all cylinders against a Seahawks offense that's a little flatter in comparison. We're talking about teams almost fundamentally the same, including all the way up to coaching. Brilliant coaches.
Yeah, 2 young
similar
studs
ages.
out there.
Yeah, it's really fun, and I am simultaneously excited to watch this game and also almost wish that I wasn't covering the Seahawks so that you could be a completely objective NFL fan and just watch a really good game without being stressed at any point. But it'll be a good one.
We'll be
week
stressed
11.
out here at Bonneville watching this game.
Let's see what's on tonight.
What's on tonight with Bump and Stacy, brought to you by Caesars Sportsbook at Muckleshoot. Now, here's what's on tonight.
The AL and NL Cy Young Awards will be handed out this afternoon at 4 p.m. on MLB Network. Back to Seahawks coming your way next.
The one and only Mark Schlereth. Every Monday at 4 during the NFL season with Wyman and Bob.
How we doing, guys?
We're good, man. We should be, right?
If you look at how Mike Macdonald has done there and what he has brought to the table, and then you look at John Schneider, you're talking about potential Coach of the Year candidate and potential GM of the Year or Executive of the Year candidate with where they sit right now.
On Seattle Sports, on YouTube, and the Seattle Sports app.
Start having fun. Caesars Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit muckleshootcasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot. Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
Kohl's has 20% off gifts that are so good, your family might think you read their minds. Check off your list now with cozy, thoughtful, and stylish gifts that will make them say, oh, How did you know? Yep, with these presents from Kohl's, you're gonna leave them feeling impressed and convinced that you're a psychic. Shop Kohl's for an extra 20% off gifts that are the perfect fit. Select styles. Offer ends November 22nd. Some exclusions apply. See store or kohls.com for details.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation, so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
It's hard to believe the holidays are almost here. And do you or someone on your wish list want the gift of fitness? Well, Brock Hewitt here, and the Top Fitness Black Friday sales event is on right now. I've told you all for years, there is nothing better than a home gym, and to give it as a gift and to friends, even better. And right now, you could save up to $1,000 on Inspire gyms, Inspire treadmills, and True treadmills, plus get free delivery and assembly on Precor treadmills, ellipticals, and exercise bikes. You can also save, how about this, up to 50% on last year's display models. With Olympic weight bars starting at $50 and home gym attachments and accessories, well, they're up to 50% off starting at just $10. So it's no secret why everyone from personal trainers to pro athletes love Top Fitness. You can visit them in Tukwila, Linwood, or Bellevue, or simply go to topfitness.com. Take care of your family, take care of your friends, take care of yourself with the Top Fitness Black Friday sales event on right now. Top Fitness, your best place for home fitness equipment.
This is the home of the Seahawks.
Going to let one fly deep. Got a man out there. Ball is caught down at the 10-yard line, and it's JSN.
Seattle Sports.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these 3 books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Hey, Brock Hewitt here. For my friends at People Come First or PCF Construction Group, are you tired of just grilling in the cold and rain every winter in the Northwest? Well, with a patio cover, heater, and fireplace from PCF, you can enjoy your outdoor deck or patio all year long, staying warm and dry, even in the wintry months. And I have a special offer for you. PCF's Black Friday sale runs through November, and you can get up to 20% off your entire project, plus no payments and no interest until 2027. Most people don't consider building a deck in winter, but if you want yours ready by next spring and summer, then contact PCF right now to start planning. Spend the winter dreaming, designing, and improving your project so you're ready to build by the spring. Remember, planning and permits take time, so get started right now. Find all the offer details, get project ideas, and browse photos at PCFgroup.com or call 425-629-8476. That's 425-629-8476, PCFgroup.com.
This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2
on Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Get your questions in for What I Need to Know coming up in 15 minutes. Any question, text it now. 866-979-3776. 2 things I want to get to here, Bump. First, I've had a couple of people over the course of today, certainly yesterday, but definitely today, text in about the over-under. We've been previewing Seahawks Rams through most of today. And I'm going to turn to one texter here in particular, but this kind of sums up what most people are saying. They said, there's no way I'm going to take the over on 48.5. It just feels like too much for how good both defenses are. So before we get to, I wanted to get to a power rankings conversation, but before we do that, I wanted to ask you about that and just ask what kind of game you're expecting in Week 11, because the over-under is at 48.5, and I think a lot of Seahawks fans, based on what I'm gathering, are expecting a lower scoring affair.
Man, this is a tough one because you could see a game where both offenses go nuts. If you don't think about what each other's defense can do, right? Just those offenses have shown they could put up 30-plus points, 40-plus points the other day last weekend. But no, I'm expecting I would put the line at like 38.
I was going to say, like, it's not going to be a 10-10. Watch me be wrong. I'm not expecting by any means. These offenses are too explosive, too electric, have been too productive for 10-10.
Yeah.
If you knew nothing about the Seahawks offense and you just knew that this was one of the best scoring defenses in the NFL, you'd still look at Matthew Stafford and the Rams offense, 4 touchdowns and no interceptions in each of the last 3 games, and you go, there's no way they're dropping 10 points alone.
Yeah, no way. I don't think so, at least. But, this is the NFL. I mean, we saw, what was the Packers Philly game, 10-7, something like that?
Horrible.
Yeah.
And it was 0.
There are days where,
for the half.
or games where that could happen. But with this one, no, I think the offenses are too explosive. And I also think that the defenses are too good.
Okay.
So you get caught in this weird place.
I agree with you. It's gonna feel like a low 20s, kind of like a 21-17, 21-18, 20, like hopefully with the Seahawks on the better half of that. Let's get to the power rankings conversation. We've been asking a lot of our guests where they would rank the Seahawks. Are they the best team in the NFC? If they're not the best team in the NFC, who is? If they're the best team in the NFC, are they better than the best team in the AFC? Kind of where are they stacking up? Now, the good news is that nearly every outlet I went to has them top 5. And quite a few have them top 1. Bleacher Report has them at 1. Sports Illustrated has them at 1. Eric Edholm, so NFL Network, has them at 1. ESPN has them at 5. Eagles are 1. Rams, Colts, Pats. The lowest I could find from like an actual reputable outlet, Mike Florio, has them at 6.
Who's in front of them?
He has Rams, Colts, Broncos, Lions, Eagles.
All right, so the Colts, I think, you know how I feel about the Colts. Love the season, great story.
But you're a hater.
I'm a low-key hater.
You don't like horses.
The Bo Nixes over there are coming back to reality, too. Bo isn't playing good enough, I feel like.
He sure isn't.
To put them in front of them. The Rams, go either way with the Rams and the Seahawks. Who are the other ones?
Ones that you've already talked about, so Rams, Eagles. What's weird, he has, I think I wrote this in order. You would have the Eagles, because I know this. You would have Eagles 1, Rams 2, Seahawks 3. He has the Eagles at 5, just above the Seahawks at 6.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, he's looking at just
because he's fitting the Colts and Broncos way too high.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's
I don't want to say
rankings.
way too high, but I think that the Broncos have faced, if you want to make a strength of schedule argument, they've faced an easier schedule than the Eagles. And the Seahawks, who have also faced an easy schedule, have more obviously dominated offensively and are scoring more points than the Broncos against easier opponents.
Yeah.
So I'm having a hard time seeing the argument for the Broncos. The defense is obviously very, very good. They've had a lot of fourth quarter comebacks. They have not won as dominantly as has Seattle. I don't see the Broncos case at 3. I don't.
No, I don't either. Eagles, Seahawks or Rams, Seahawks or Rams. After that, I don't really care because Thursday or Sunday we're going to find out a whole lot. But no, I think 6 is way too low. They're not the 6th best team in the NFL. I think the lowest it could possibly be is maybe 4 on somebody's power rankings.
Well, here's the thing you talked earlier, and you're right, that power rankings are subjective, and a lot of things outside of just numbers are taken into account. For instance, if you're looking at the Eagles and Seahawks, the Eagles are scoring fewer points per game, but the Eagles were just in a Super Bowl, have a great roster, have a great offensive line. Like, there are other things that you just know to be true. You can make the case for the Rams. The Rams are have a better run game, I guess, than the Seahawks. Matthew Stafford has been electric, only has, I think, 2 interceptions. Sure. I'm not seeing football arguments for some other guys. And I think not opened the show, but earlier in the show talked about the elephant in the room being Sam Darnold for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
That has to be what's at play here. There's no way anything outside of that would have you with the Seahawks. If Matthew Stafford had the exact same stats as Sam Darnold and was quarterbacking the Seahawks, they'd be number one.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is fine.
Yeah, it's why? Because Matthew Stafford has done it. He's proven he can do it. That's
But what
all
has
it is.
Bo
This
Nix
is
done?
this I don't know. It's Sean McVay. I don't. And it's a dumb power ranking is what it is. It's dumb. Like anyone who has the Seahawks at 6, I don't even want to hear. I don't want to read your article. I don't want to hear your podcast. None of that stuff.
I don't even want to know you.
There's no way. I don't even remember the guy's name. I'm not even gonna give him that.
You know what his name is?
What?
Michael.
Is it?
Yes.
What's his last name?
Florio. It's Mike Florio.
Oh, Mike Florio. It's Mike. He goes by Mike.
That's
the
true.
problem.
Oh,
he goes
okay.
by Mike. Michael,
That's
two
what
totally
it
different
is.
people.
Who called you Michael the other day when like?
Dave Wyman called me Michael.
Oh, he called you Mike.
No, he called me Michael.
Oh, did he?
I'm like, what'd you call me?
Yeah.
He was Michael. So
Well-
then when he left, I go, all right, see you later, David.
But I've also never heard anyone call you Mike.
Mike is a bit more common. My older family members call me Mike.
Mike?
Yeah.
I mean, Mike is understandable. Very common classic nickname for Michael. Most people, Michael, go by Mike. But I always hear Michael Bumpus.
Or Bump.
Well, Bump is obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, that was weird. So Mike Florio, tripping. I will no longer listen to you when you're on ESPN. This power ranking is the reason why I don't like power rankings, because you get someone like yourself who just wants to be different. You saw something that no one else saw and say, yeah, I think these guys are 6th best in the game.
What
You're tripping.
AFC team would you put above the Rams, Seahawks, or Eagles right now? Because those are your best 3 teams. Not in that order, but in the NFC.
It's the Patriots, maybe. Their schedule is soft
What
as
Curtis said
baby
yesterday.
poop, though. Yeah, but they haven't played anybody really. They're not going to beat anybody really. I mean, they did beat the Bills, but the Bills we're finding out aren't who we thought they were to start the year. They lost to the Steelers, and they lost to the Raiders, though. The Raiders.
I mean, that was week 1.
Yeah, week 1, lost to the Raiders.
Week 1, things were different in week 1.
Things were a lot different in week 1.
Things were a lot different in week 1. Week 1, the vibes weren't great.
No, they're not.
We were looking at the Seahawks losing to the 49ers, Geno winning with the Raiders, and going, uh-oh. And look at us now.
Look at us now,
Look
thriving.
at us now. Where'd you put the Chiefs?
Where would I put the Chiefs?
Mm-hmm.
Outside the top 5, that's for sure.
Definitely outside the top 5, but there's only the Chiefs could have one less win, and I'd still have them top 10.
They're outside the top 5 with the potential to be number 1 as soon as the playoffs hit.
That they're undeniable.
Because they turn up, they turn it on. I think ESPN has them at 11.
Question for you. You answered it in 4 down territory, which is why I'm asking. 206. How's the Rams' offensive line? Can our nasty pass rush get to Matt? They called him Matt Statue. How disrespectful.
Hella extremely good is what that offensive line is. Can our D-line get after him? Most definitely, because you have a top 3 D-line in the game right now. But it's going to be tough, man. They got it's stout. It ain't going to be like Arizona. They have to work a little harder for that.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Someone else said the Seahawks really, really need this game, though. The last 4 games are working out to be a brutal stretch with Colts, Rams, Panthers, 49ers all having winning records. I don't believe in the Panthers, though.
Did they win last week?
No.
What'd they lose to?
The Saints.
Oh, yeah. Credibility gone.
Out the window.
The credit check is done.
So sorry. All right. Just figured I'd check in on those power rankings, ask you about the over-under. We had a couple questions in, but back to your questions for what I need to know. 866-979-3776. Text those in now.
Blue 88! I said Blue 88! Every morning at 7:45, Brock Ewart tackles 3 football questions as only he can.
Give me a Seahawk or 2 who had their best game of the season.
Put some respect on their name. Critical of Anthony Bradford when he falls on his face, when he blocks his own guy. What about when he's balling? You got to give him his due when he's got a PFF grade of 75.8.
Wow.
You going to give AB his due? You're darn right I am.
Catch every Blue 88 on the Seattle Sports app.
You can get a new car anywhere, but I want you to get a car from people you can trust, who want to make sure you have a hassle-free, no-pressure experience. And that's why I love Wayscar Ford in Auburn. I got a new Bronco Sport there. I met Mark and Chris and Way himself. These are real people who I know. And you will too when you go. They're great. But what else is great? They want you to get money for your used car. It's called the Vehicle Profit Sharing Program, and here's how it works. You sell your car to them. They pay you that day. There's no waiting. The whole process takes about 30 minutes. And then when they resell that car, they split the profit with you. It lets them save money on things like auction fees or travel expenses, and it lets you avoid scams. They've just surpassed sharing over $1 million with people who have sold their car to Wayscar Ford. So why would you sell your car anywhere else? WayscarFord.com.
If you've got a gas-powered engine, keep it running like new at every fill-up. Stable in-season protection is your engine's preventative medicine, cleaning and protecting the entire fuel system in season. In outdoor power equipment, prevent gum and varnish buildup that could cause a rough or non-running engine. For cars and trucks, increase fuel efficiency and power by removing deposits, ensuring your engine's long-term health. Stable outperforms the competition in independent lab testing. So at every fill-up, start with Stable.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So, then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Hey, Mike Salk here for my friends at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel, and obviously New Year's is coming up. Can you believe it? Book your stay at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel for an evening of elegance at a night at the Grand Ball. This New Year's Eve celebration includes the legendary DJ Super Sam. And sports fans, you got to check out the Hawks Peak. You're home for game days with great food and drinks, more than 60 TVs, so you won't miss a play, and a heated, covered outdoor deck with those great views of the Snoqualmie Valley. Seattle's closest is now Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel.
The home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Touchdown! Seahawks! Ken Walker III!
Get everything Seahawks at seattlesports.com.
You've heard the saying, you never get a second chance to make a first impression. Since 1926, my family's been helping local businesses make great first, second, and long-term impressions. We know how to make your company look good with quality uniforms, logoed apparel, floor mats, linens, and more. If you're paying for linen service or doing it yourself, let's have the conversation. The information and quote are free, but the savings and service can really add up. Visit suplinen.com. Superior Linen Service. It's what we do.
Matt Coker here with West Coast Men's Health. In the past 5 years, we've seen thousands of men at our clinics. Most guys tell us the same story, that in their early 50s, it's not that they couldn't function, they just needed help. They started taking Viagra, and it worked great at first. But after a few years, it stopped working. The problem is that their arteries had become more restricted since they started taking it, because Viagra does not unclog arteries. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we use acoustic wave therapy to target the real problem. We break down plaque and clear up the arteries so blood can flow like it did in your 20s. This restores function. And guys, listen to this. You won't have to take a pill anymore. So if this sounds like you, give West Coast Men's Health a call today and see how we can help.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
At Washington Energy Services, we take the time to get to know you and your home. We have the passion and commitment to see each project through and to treat our work as more than just a job. For over 65 years, we've offered award-winning home services, from heating and cooling, plumbing and electrical, to windows and doors. Complete home improvement handled from start to comfort. For peace of mind when you need it most, count on Washington Energy Services, bringing good energy to your home.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
This is Bumpin' Stacy
weekdays 10 to 2.
on Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Get your questions in for What I Need to Know, 866-979-3776. Text now. What I need to know. What I need to know. Simple. Bump. Who do you think wins Sunday?
Of course, the Seahawks. I think they get it done.
That's the obvious
They get it
answer.
done.
Very obvious
I got one right here, though.
Mhm.
Bump. Stacy always makes fun of you when you
That's not true.
mispronounce words or whatnot,
No,
but
that's not
she
true.
had her own moment. What do you think of that?
And I believe that Jets Patriots will give us a game for the ages. Matt had
Who's
that.
Patriots?
Matt had that too ready.
Who's Patriots?
Matt had it too ready. Curtis said I sound like Anna Nicole Smith. God rest her soul.
You like my body?
Curtis, you're just
Jets?
standing next to her in a drive-by. You had one too. Let's get on.
Cacophony of noise.
So I'm not here to hold y'all accountable.
Oh, wow.
Because every time I say a little slip up, y'all get me. And you play it at the end of the show. Oh, listen to Bump. Listen to Bump. He mispronounced the word. So, love you. It's all out of love, though. It's all out of love. I appreciate
Someone else said take the bull by the hands. It's not me.
No, that's Stacy.
That's Salk's wife.
That's not
That's
me. That's
Stacy.
Salk's wife, Heather, who's very, very smart. And sometimes people say things wrong. Okay? Someone yesterday texted in, oh, Curtis said a word wrong, but I didn't read it on air because I didn't know how to say it.
I do all the time. I will skip a word. If I'm not confident and I have a read, I will skip that thing.
I can see Curtis laugh sometimes because for like the timeline, he'll write a word down and I won't know how to say it, so I'll replace it with another word. And I can tell that he and Matt see it and go, this idiot. It is what it is. Look, the Patriots could pit up and the Jets could have a game for the ages. And you guys...
They better not.
I
The
hope
Patriots
they do.
better take care of
The
business.
Jets and Patriots will have a game for the ages.
For the ages.
For the ages.
You remind me of Keith Jackson talking about the Rose Bowl. You know who that is Keith Jackson? One of the greatest voices in sports.
Oh, why was I thinking...
What were you thinking?
I don't want to say.
Tell me later.
Keith Urban?
No.
Alan Jackson?
No, that would be funny. Let's see. What I need to know. Sharps had a great game on Sunday. I could see them moving on from Walker in the offseason. Can you see them doing that and Charbonnet being RB1? Sorry, I pulled away from my mic for a minute.
I think that Charbonnet on certain teams could be RB1, but I think that he's better as a complimentary back.
I think it's just Curtis has his conspiracy corner about them taking...
Did he have another one?
No, any day could be a Curtis conspiracy corner. It's really a Curtis conspiracy avenue, and we're all just living alongside it. But his theory is that they're taking carries away from Ken Walker, and the goal line carries away. I think you've made this point a million times, and you're right, so I'm just echoing your own point, Bump. But it is really, really hard to find what we think of as this traditional 1,000-yard back. And if you have two guys that are good, try to hang on to those two guys is kind of how I see it.
That's the new NFL, man.
Yeah.
You need two of them things.
Let's see. 866-979-3776. What I need to know. What's a food you loved as a kid, but you can't stand now?
I wouldn't say I can't stand it, but I use way less ketchup now than I did as a kid.
Yeah, that's a good one. As a kid, your barometer for sweetness and sourness is just non-existent.
You remember those things? They're like Twinkies, but they had like that yellow frosting on top.
Yellow frosting.
Nah, it was.
But it's some kind of like
maybe
dessert thing.
Yeah, something like Hostess. Just don't do it for me no more.
I think that a lot of kid treats, even Lunchables are still great, don't get me wrong. But once you have like a real charcuterie board, you know what I'm saying? Once you have expensive cheese and crackers, you're like, oh, this is trash. I'll eat 5 of them. Do not get me wrong. I will eat a Lunchable, but it's not the same. Yeah, once you're an adult and you have adult food, it's just, even cheese and crackers is horrible. Yeah, Lunchables would probably be my answer.
Lunchables, yeah, Hostess.
Looks like Percy Allen of the Seattle Times saying that Ann McCoy, Wazoo AD, is out. That's according to his sources. Official announcement expected shortly.
Any reaction, Bob?
Being the Coug among us.
And she was a great person.
Pete Thamel of ESPN also.
She's always nice to my family. She would let them go in her suite and watch the games and stuff. I can't really speak on her as an AD because I don't know what she did or didn't do.
You're curious to see how this story develops. I'm assuming it's going to be officially announced probably during Wyman and Bob. You said it's still just a report, right, Curtis?
Well, Pete Thamel of ESPN
has confirmed it. But Wazoo hasn't said anything?
Correct.
That has to be happening soon. It's obviously out there. Interesting.
I mean, does that maybe speak to where the football program is? Because obviously that's the
she hired him.
I know. That's the biggest driver of funds in any athletic program.
It's got to be deeper than that.
Yeah, well, what gets me about the football program, it's the conversation we've been having about college football, in our case, Washington, but all week long, which is how much of a fault is an AD, how much fault can you find with a coach, and how much of a program struggling, especially for a school like Wazoo, is just college football is incredibly difficult to compete with now with NIL.
That's why I think it's not that. There has to be something else.
Yeah, but this is giving you were told it's the end of your time.
Yeah. I mean, she was hired as like the interim, right? And then they hired her on full time.
Yeah.
She only had the full-time job for a year and a half.
I'm going to get to a few more questions. Someone wants to know, what are your thoughts, what I need to know, your thoughts on Russell Wilson getting demoted to third string, Jameis Winston getting the start.
I think that I would probably do the same thing if I was in Kafka's position. Try something new. You've already seen what Russell Wilson can do. Yeah, and I think more, like I said earlier, I'm just hope Russ is in a good place mentally.
What I need to know, is Zabel a Pro Bowler this year? He's playing pretty well.
That's tough. I don't know. I haven't studied enough lines to have an opinion on that, really.
Someone said what I need to know. Well, they didn't say what I need to know. They just said Stacy can't even pronounce among correctly. How do you say among? Among? Among. Among.
Among?
Among?
I don't think you're saying it right.
Among? Among. I don't think I'm saying it that wrong. I'll say that. If I'm not saying it right, it's not that wrong.
I mean, we know what you're saying.
Yeah. It's not like when I said avocado and you guys were like, it's not avocado. That's how I would say 90% of people say avocado.
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 If you're going to say avocado, you got to go all Latin.
If you say avocado, you need to be
avocado.
in a certain tax bracket.
If you say avocado, you say avocado. You say
for real.
Like...
Do you say Ibiza? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know we were among royalty. The second I hear someone say it's avocado, I'm going to say, whoa, let me get my tea. I'm so sorry.
The king of the castle. Sit in my chair.
I'll go say avocado with the rest of steerage. What I need to know, what is an embarrassing thing you've done? They said, well, not sober, but that you're willing to share.
Embarrassing.
The last really embarrassing thing you've done that you're willing to share. They said maybe in a state of not full.
Oh, it was just a minute ago. I'm on my iPad, and there's the play button on the right side, and I was holding my phone trying to record, and I flipped my iPad as if the play button was going to switch. The screen just flips, and I'm like, you dummy.
It's the rotating screen when you move things. They got you. They got you good. Wyman and Bob coming up next.
Some people don't enjoy because you want that instant gratification. I understand that.
Carbonate, merry-go-round, nighttime, dark time, hand-dandled,
cacophony of noise.
And I believe that Jets Patriots will give us a game for the ages.
The one and only Mark Schlereth. Every Monday at 4 during the NFL season with Wyman and Bob.
How we doing, guys?
We're good, man. We should be, right?
If you look at how Mike Macdonald has done there and what he has brought to the table, and then you look at John Schneider, you're talking about potential Coach of the Year candidate and potential GM of the Year or Executive of the Year candidate with where they sit right now.
On Seattle Sports, on YouTube, and the Seattle Sports app.
In the Pacific Northwest, choose Star Rentals for construction equipment. With 18 locations, they deliver superior service and unmatched follow-through. Visit starrentals.com. Star Rentals, the preferred supplier to the West's best contractors.
Are your investment dollars working as hard as they should be? You've spent years building your future. Don't let outdated advice put it at risk. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. We're a veteran-owned firm proud to bring a new standard of financial care to the Seattle area. Our nationally recognized advisors are fiduciaries, ethically bound to put your interests first. That's the highest standard of care in the industry. As a privately held company, we answer to you, our valued clients, not shareholders. For households with $500,000 or more, let us build you a customized plan. From Bellevue to Tacoma, get advice you can count on. It's time to take a fresh look at your financial plan. Call Trajan Wealth, 206-466-3300. That's 206-466-3300. Trajan Wealth. Plan smarter, dream bigger.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Thinking about new windows or doors, but unsure about writing a big check up front? For the first time ever, Lake Washington Windows is offering incredible 5-year zero-interest financing, plus 15% off for a limited time. Visit lakewashingtonwindows.com today.
Have you tried the dining district at the Bellevue Collection? Grab lunch with friends, meet up for happy hour, and stay for dinner and beyond. You can sample international flavors and local favorites from talented chefs. Try a new cocktail on a rooftop bar or watch the game with friends. And explore the lively nightlife scene. The Dining District at the Bellevue Collection, where your taste adventure begins. Learn more at BellevueCollection.com/dining district.
Stacy Rost here from Seattle Sports. Ladies and gentlemen, this is for you too. Stubborn fat is really hard to get rid of. And then there's all those gimmicky lasers, fat freezing methods, prescriptions. But imagine a simple solution that takes just one day and provides immediate, noticeable results. Introducing ProSculpt. ProSculpt uses air-assisted technology that's safe and gentle, yet powerful, delivering instant fat-reducing and skin-tightening results. Performed by board-certified plastic surgeons while fully awake, ProSculpt contours your body with minimal downtime. It's designed to target problem areas: waistline, face, neck, arms, thighs. ProSculpt gently removes unwanted fat and tightens loose skin with FDA-cleared plasma technology, all in a simple, guaranteed one-day procedure. ProSculpt is one and done. For your free consultation and $250 off, visit ProSculpt.com for powerful permanent fat removal and skin tightening that works for ladies and you men. It's ProSculpt.com.
This might be the most surprising statistic I've shared in decades of doing local news. More than 75% of commuters will be involved in a car accident at some point. JP Pendergast of Pendergast Law with more.
What makes it more surprising? The average person will be involved in 3 to 4 collisions in their lifetime.
With accidents unbelievably prevalent, what are some safety tips if it happens to you?
Safety first. Secondary collisions are not uncommon while awaiting help. Turn on those hazards and remain in a safe place. If a bystander witnessed the accident, capture their information and encourage them to remain at the scene. Seek medical attention immediately if needed, as delaying can be a costly mistake. Lastly, remember that statements made to police and insurance adjusters can affect your case.
Collisions are more common than we'd like to think. If you find yourself in one, follow these helpful tips and then call my friends at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one's injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
PendergastLaw.com.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy.